You're listening to
Welcome to Oh Baby Triple, a podcast just about, everything and anything under the sun. We're four friends who just hang out and chat about our lives and the news in our lives, mostly revolving around video games, TV, movies, anime, comic books, you name it,
All that fun stuff.
Yeah, all that fun stuff. I'm Corey. We didn't do that last week, so I'm going to do that now.
Well, we did. It's just,
It was through the middle of it, yeah.
What episode last week? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, shit, you're right.
yeah, this is episode 2, but we never had a first episode ever.
When we were all just
back.
chatting, yeah. Welcome to the first episode.
Totally the first episode.
Totally didn't screw everything up.
Yep. Not at all.
What matters is we're here now.
Yeah, what matters is the present. We're in the present. So how you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Oh, I'm hanging.
What are you up to?
Well,
I came back from I came back from a 6.5 hour date. It was fun.
Oh, nice. Cute guy.
Yeah, he was cute.
Did you get your butthole finger popped?
No.
Like that?
No.
Well, then what was the point of the date, dude?
Jesus. To get to know him?
You gotta gauge whether or not he is proper.
The best way to know
for the
somebody
finger
is
pop.
when you finger pop their asshole.
This is questionable. These are questionable practices that you partake in.
An important.
Yeah, you just gotta go, oh! Like that.
Yeah, Joe. An important measure of a man is how well they can pop your ass.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you hear that distinct pop noise. How in Rice Krispies there's that snap, crackle, pop.
Christ.
You got to emphasis on that pop.
There's a lot of snapping, cracking. And
There's a
popping in
lot
Rice
of pop there.
It's not just a pop; it's many.
That's a lot.
What is even
It's a lot.
happening?
Anyways, well, I hope your date went really well. Anyways,
So
Yeah, no, I think so.
I mean,
I'm
if
having
it
a
went
good
on
time.
for 6.5 hours, I would imagine it was pretty good.
yeah,
yeah,
I showed him some of the memes from our group chats, and he
Nice.
thought they were funny, so that's good.
Well, there you go.
you're reeling him in.
He did not turn away and walk out the door. So I mean, proud of him on that
Yeah, no,
one.
it's true.
So
So I'm doing this podcast from my car, which is funny to talk about. I got a lot of family
Yes,
over
pray
this
tell.
weekend, so I'm in my car. I have my laptop in the passenger seat. I got my phone next to me. I got my microphone on the dashboard of the car, and I got a an $85 battery unit just hanging out on the floor here.
Incredible.
It's giving me,
Wow.
because I know my laptop would shit out on me, so I've got that all hooked up, just charging
how to
up.
podcast?
Yeah, I'm
Really?
on it. I'm in on it. I got it down.
Wow,
Hell of a
incredible.
setup.
I've been in the process of getting ready to move out of my apartment, so I've been pretty crazy busy with packing and stuff. I still have so much to pack, and I literally move in 2 days.
Are you moving to another place in Rochester?
It's the same apartment complex. It's just a different building because I got a 2-bedroom. So because I'm getting a roommate now, so
Yeah.
that'll be
Make
pretty
that real
cool.
easy.
So, but I've been busy with that, so that's been kind of rough. But I mean, I tried to do as much as I can this week to still enjoy myself, but I still have a lot to go. So
I get that.
It'll probably be nice once you're all settled in, though.
yeah, yeah. Once Monday hits, I'll be dope. So.
Nice.
Yeah, you'll probably be good on not having to buy a million things.
No, yeah, I'm saving a ton of money.
Yeah,
So that's going to help a lot. So I'll actually have funds, which will be great.
Hell yeah.
Because I've had to
No,
cut
I love
and cut
having
and
money.
cut. Oh,
Having
Don't we
money is
all?
Nice.
it's like we need money, I guess,
I was
Yeah,
thinking
money
like
puts the
that.
fun in funds.
Fun and funds.
Yeah, I mean, now that I have money, I can now finger pop assholes with
Yeah, there you
with
go.
ease. I just give them a $5
Could never
bill.
do that for
Wait.
free.
Hold
Nope.
on. Now that you have money, you pay people to let you finger pump them.
Yep.
Sure.
I mean,
No, that makes sense.
I guess it does. Yeah, I was thinking it was almost
Having
like
it done
reverse
on him?
prostitution, where you stand on the corner and you give people
No,
money.
that's one-
You give them the money to do it to you. I will pay
No,
you
man,
$5
that's
to finger pop my ass, please. And then I go, oh. I did not do it very well that second time.
Lord.
I actually jammed 2 fingers in my mouth by accident instead of
Lord.
1.
Ryan, you're putting too much effort into that. You gotta.
I'm gonna shove my entire fist in my mouth and try it then next time, since
you
I
can
tried
shove
2
your entire
fingers.
fist in your mouth, man. I'm impressed.
I don't think I'd be impressed. I think I'd feel a lot of shame, just like my parents have for me.
Yeah, I feel
Rest in
shame
peace.
and impressed.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
It's like a catch-22 here at the moment.
Yeah, I feel a little both. We want to jump right into the new stuff,
Or just shit that
weekly
we've done
catch-up.
this week.
the weekly catch-up.
Yeah. Who wants to start us off?
Corey, go for it.
Me?
Oh yeah.
Starting
Yeah,
off.
host.
All right. I'm getting swole. That's the first thing. I got
Oh yeah,
put
I
down.
saw that. I saw your post on Instagram. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
here's-
a. You talking about the
Yeah,
one
the
where
one
I
with the mirror.
where I had
Was that fake?
where I had one mirror that was angled slightly different than the other one, so it looked like my bicep was like 2 inches bigger than it actually is.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, what the fuck, Corey? I didn't think you would pack on that much in, like, a month or 2.
Yeah, no, there's no way I could get that much on. I'm up 5 pounds from where I've been. That's it. That's all I've got so far. But yeah, that's
Nice.
that's
I mean,
just.
that's still good.
But you're
Just on
still
the
looking.
forefront.
You're looking pretty.
I'm looking pretty fucking sexy, man.
I agree.
If he does say so himself.
If I do say so myself, and I see myself naked on the regular.
He just looks down and goes, "Damn."
I just periodically just remove all clothing and just look at myself for no reason.
man.
Just find local mirror. Like, I can't resist.
Find local mirror.
Oh
That
no.
poor. Find local mirrors in your area.
Oh, gosh.
You know, like at a bar.
Oh
Hey,
hey.
girl. What? Oh my God.
You know how like every
She
restaurant.
looking pretty fucking sexy. You're just looking at yourself.
Oh, damn.
You know how like
There's
every
just a mirror
restaurant has
sitting
a
in the
mirror
bar.
that makes the whole room look twice as big. It's just I'm devastated everywhere I go. Every business wants to put a big mirror in it. But yeah, that's just surface level Corey. That's like I'm just generally getting swole.
There you go.
Well, I'm
But-
really proud of you because I mean I've just been eating mozzarella sticks and I don't think that's helping a whole lot.
Good on ya. You know
That's it.
you do what you love.
That's another way to do it.
I am what I eat, you know. It's mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella.
I am
stick.
just a mozzarella stick.
Yeah,
You split me in
Ryan.
half and just some gooey mozzarella falls out of me.
Yeah, Ryan, crusty on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That's right.
Well, that's a pretty accurate statement of who I am.
Oh shoot.
Smells
wait.
like cheese.
Yeah, I smell like gooey
I think-
cheese. Especially in the hot summer, it gets really messy.
Hold on, wait, guys.
Good lord.
So earlier when Corey said I'm Corey, we immediately derailed ourselves and we never introduced ourselves.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So this whole time we've known who Corey is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Corey.
Hi, I'm Corey. I'm the
I'm
quote-unquote
Harry.
host.
Oops.
He's Harry.
I'm Harry.
Yeah, that's Harry.
I'm Ryan. Your lovely dad, mom.
Hi, Dad. Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Thanks. Thanks, sons.
Damn.
And daughter.
Mod.
Oh.
Damn.
Who wants to be
know
the
how to-
daughter?
I don't know how to shit Mom and Dad.
I need to have one daughter at least in my life so that I can feel pride.
It could be the final last guest on the show.
No, the
And I'm Joseph.
Oh, daughter.
Hello,
No,
hi.
guys,
Hi.
we already have our canon places as a family unit from the first season.
Oh, you're right.
that's
Damn
right.
it.
I'm
Wait.
a child.
What was
No,
I?
you're the mother. I was the child.
yeah, I was the
Corey's
mom.
the director.
That's right. Corey was the
The
director.
director of the show.
Harry was dad. I
No,
was
Joe
mom.
was
Raised
dad.
you.
I was the
Joe
kid.
was dad? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I fucked that all up. Don't listen to me.
Yeah,
I'm
all of
stupid.
it. Damn.
Yeah.
All
So
of
for
it.
for anyone who's curious, and also because we're a fucking mess, this is the 4th season of Oh Baby a Triple. And to
Welcome back.
explain,
This is episode 2.
Yeah, hello.
this is
Episode 2, season 4.
episode 2, quote unquote. First season was a television show that was live. The second season was a television show that was post-production. The third season was a single episode radio show that got us kicked off the air. Not for content, just because none of us were really members of the radio station.
So they kicked us out.
And yeah, they kicked us out because of that. And then this is the 4th season,
Which
a
is
podcast. So
And-
we're cross media, is what we are.
Oh yeah, get ready for season 5. It's a book.
Season 5. Season 5 is
It's
a
written
play to read.
novel.
It's an adventure novel.
It's a visual novel.
It's all visual.
We get
We went from entirely
just have-
audio podcast to an entirely visual medium. Holy shit!
You have to read. You have to read, and there's photos that go with it.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
We turned into a fiction-based graphic novel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then we have the comic series that Harry's gonna be writing for it. You know.
I'm gonna make
Yeah.
Oh Baby the graphic series.
I mean, alright, we can do that. Adventure Zone exists.
That's true. That's
Oh
true.
baby, the dishwasher. That's what it is. Start selling products with GM now.
You could just open up your dishwasher and Oh Baby a Triple is just in there.
It's just 4 of us are in the dishwasher.
It's a big box, and we were all sitting there with wet rags, and we just scrubbed the dishes.
Yep. And it's just an hour of that.
Yeah, it's only an hour. We only do it for an hour.
We sometimes shoot the shit, just like talk about whatever, but it's like it's not actually about that. It's actually about us washing dishes.
All the joy and love of a podcast in your kitchen dishwasher.
Yep.
Oh God.
Just fucking. So I really wanted to talk about Owlboy.
Okay.
Well, just for the first time. Or
Yeah,
again,
because we definitely haven't talked about it before.
Oh.
in a
Oh yeah,
previous
that's right.
episode that maybe
That's-
shit went down. So I finished Owlboy, and I think that game is absolutely fantastic. Visually, it's stunning, and I think where it stands out most is the characters. And the characters really build up the story, too. And I don't know if you've played it yet, Harry.
I only played like the very beginning of it.
Okay. One of my favorite characters is Twig, and I think if you play the game, you'll find out why. He's got a really awesome, like,
He's a very
disposition.
Corey character.
Yeah, he's a
You know
Corey
what?
character.
Surprisingly,
Does he lose a leg?
maybe. No. You can okay. You could say in a very skewed way, he amputates his identity.
Emotionally.
I don't know about that, Chief.
No, don't worry. If you play the game, you'll see the random skew of it.
I'll get to like the part and I'll be like, so that's what he meant.
Yeah, it's one of those things like no one's gonna get it until they play it, and then they go, oh yeah, maybe yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. I see what
Are you
he's
gonna
trying
make
to say.
shitpost videos about Owlboy soon enough?
Owlboy isn't really a medium for shit posting. Although that does
Yeah, it's
mean
high
that
art.
there is an opening for shit posting for Owlboy that anyone has yet to fill.
You found your niche.
There you go.
I found that spot, that hole I need to fill. Not only in the internet.
Everything is.
but in my heart.
Everything is memeable. Everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Everything is a hole that you can fill.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. A hole's a hole.
Hey man, a hole is a hole.
No, I mean.
But yeah, the game is fantastic. The art is amazing. For like a pixel game art, all the characters have like a lot of animation to them. Like
Yeah,
their
that
facial
was-
expressions, surprisingly.
That was my biggest takeaway from the like hour that I played it, was just how gorgeous that game was. Like everything about it.
Oh yeah,
And
the orchestration.
It was a very pretty game.
Absolutely, and it's like got a full band. Like it's not MIDI sounds. It's an actual like group of people playing sheet music all together in a room. It just makes the world so alive, and it's one of those things where like the Owlboy like nailed the pixel art genre, just of video game.
Hell yeah.
Of video game.
Of all of video game.
All video game ever. Should have given the Pope Owlboy, TBH. You know?
Right?
Just don't want to dig that up again, but... yeah. I also want to talk about Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and just Tina Fey in general.
Yes.
Because from SNL to 30 Rock to Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, I just absolutely love everything Tina Fey writes. And Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt Season 4 is no exception to that rule.
Yeah, no. Tina Fey is probably one of the best female comedian writers on television. Or even in general, because, I mean, even Mean Girls. This is such a well-written movie, and it's all Tina Fey.
Oh, yeah.
It's fantastic. I love that movie.
She's got, I think, a unique pace to her comedy I love. It's different. Like, you know how when someone writes a movie or someone writes a skit, they try to jam every sentence with a joke, and it doesn't work? Because you're like, oh, well, these jokes fall flat.
Oh, yeah.
And they suck. They make the whole thing kind of worse. I don't know how Tina Fey managed to like, jam a joke into every sentence and make it work really well. And
even like subtle background things too, like if you notice like weird little quirky things in the background.
Yes,
like,
I absolutely love.
It's like, so there's just, not only it's just in the writing, but it's also just visually when you see it. It just it's like you notice it, and it's great.
Her greatest contribution to television is Titus Andromeda.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love him so much.
You met him.
I did meet him. I went to a wine signing where he was selling his Pinot Noir wine, and he was signing the bottles.
Oh my god!
I went and I got a signed bottle of Pinot Noir.
That is amazing.
It was one of the greatest experiences of my life.
Titus Andromeda is like the greatest, like one of my favorite characters in television. Period.
I don't know if it's so much Tina Fey as it is just Titus Burgess,
he's just fantastic.
He pulls the character through, and I feel like I follow his Instagram, and it's like he's like that in real life.
Yeah,
he just kind of shows up on set and just kind of reads the paper like Titus like himself would.
It's and like he just walks on set and just like, there you go.
Yeah, he doesn't act. He just is. I love characters like that too. It's like I think a lot of Tina Fey's characters are like that when she writes them. Like what's her name? Who's like plays every 50-year-old soccer mom? No, 50-year-old mom who wants to be like young again and pretends to be young. I can never remember the actress.
I don't know the actor's name. I know who you're talking about.
I know. Fuck, it's on the tip of my tongue. I know that name.
Basically, everyone on the show kind of
Amy something.
Plays
no,
the
not
perfect
Amy
role.
Poehler.
Amy Poehler's great too, though.
She is good.
Yeah, but the casting, I think Tina Fey nails it.
Yeah, just the cast and the characters and the writing and just everything about that show was awesome. And I am sad that it is.
That it's over.
It is over.
Yeah. Kimmy Schmidt is like one of my favorite shows that I've like watched in years, and I cried watching the finale. So there's that.
I went back and started rewatching it again, so I'm back again at like season 2.
I think I actually might go back to 30 Rock. 30 Rock was the first show I binge watched, and I felt so like special watching it. I felt like this is my thing. No one else in my family watches this show, and this is like my one thing that I have to like binge watch. And I was very sad when it was over, but I do have to say she ended it 30 Rock, she ended perfectly.
Yeah.
Like fucking
Yeah, that was a
30
good
years
finale.
into the future, 40 years in the future, where like Tina Fey's kid is like, Tina Fey's got children and her grandchild is working for NBC now. Absolutely.
Was that 30 Rock?
Yeah, 30 Rock's last episode was
been-
like,
It's been a very, very long time since I've seen 30 Rock.
it was
Like,
like
literally high school.
just the finale episode was like that. But it was great. So, moving on to my lower on my list. Frozen 2 looks lit AF.
Yeah, really pretty.
Did you guys all see the trailer?
I did.
Yeah, I
didn't
saw
watch
it.
the trailer. I still haven't seen the first Frozen, and I'm probably not gonna go see Frozen 2.
I'll tell you what, my first impression was it looks like a superhero movie.
I mean, that definitely gets my interest a lot more than another.
Yeah.
Frozen.
Yeah, it's like the first Frozen was like it was fine. Like it was like a
Yeah.
decent movie. It had some pretty stuff going on. Overall, it was like just fine. This movie looks a lot more dramatic and like in a sort of kinetic way, I guess. Like it looks like there's going to be more action going on, and it's not really all that snowy. It's like fall.
Yeah,
which
it looks
is
like it's
interesting.
turning.
I mean, the whole end of the first Frozen was, hey, I can control the weather again, where love makes everything warm again. So it's like, so at least she has more control over her
Oh,
power. So
you know what?
everything's
I
not
do
going to be like
remember that.
endless winter, I would assume.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes
Yeah,
sense
probably.
that she kind of has a little bit more understanding and control, so she doesn't let everything become frozen wasteland again, because that would be really stupid and it would go back on like her entire character development from the first movie.
Right.
But I wasn't like
Yeah.
huge into Frozen. Like I was the one
No.
person in the
Nah,
theater
yeah.
that was just like, it's fine. And I was a little bit leaning more towards that. I don't think this is my cup of tea thing. And this is like the one Disney movie it wasn't really gelling with me, and I felt bad because everyone attacked me immediately. It was like, you suck. And I'm like, dude, I just don't think it's that good. I think it's fine. It's not a terrible movie. It's just it's not my kind of movie, but it's fine. I'm
Ryan,
alright
if
with
you
it.
don't like Disney,
If
your
you don't,
taste is
if
bad.
you don't like, I don't like that one Disney movie. Therefore, I hate all of them.
Wow.
That's exactly how it works.
can't
I mean, I
believe
I
love
thought it
Big.
was okay.
I love Big Hero 6, and then I got attacked for loving Big Hero 6, but not liking Frozen. Because literally, someone's like, "Oh, so you like this, but you don't like Frozen?" I'm like, "What the fuck do you want from me?" I'm like, "What?"
They're like two completely different movies.
Exactly, and I'm like,
In every possible way.
Absolutely.
Like, Big Hero 6 didn't even have, like... I mean, yeah, Fall Out Boy had, like, a song in it, but it was not a musical.
yeah.
Fall Out
And
Boy
I-
had a song in it. It's been a long
Yeah.
time since
And
I've seen
It
that
was
movie.
And Big Hero 6? Yeah.
that was
a
like,
big
you don't
thing,
remember
was-
that?
No,
was
I haven't
Fall
seen it
Out
since
Boy.
it came out.
Immortals,
Yeah, no, it was
Immortals
like- it
the
was
song
like the-
from,
it was the
Big
Big
Hero
Normal.
6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. That's
It's
incredible.
if you rewatch it, if you hit the end credits of the movie, that is the Fall Out Boy
They play
song.
it again, yeah.
That's amazing.
And, I mean, they played it in the middle of the movie, too.
They do, they
Like,
do
when
play it
they
in the
got their
middle.
powers and stuff like that, and they were just trying to figure them all out.
Yeah,
like
it was the montage scene. where
I
they
was,
were
I was
singing
about
that
to
scene.
ask if it was the montage song.
Yeah, it was the montage song. I have watched that specific part many times over just because like I really like the song. I like the song a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested with Frozen 2. I'm still gonna watch it. I'm still gonna give it a chance because I want to give Frozen that chance because I felt really bad that I didn't love Frozen because I thought it was gonna be
Don't.
curated especially for me because I'm like it's going back to Disney musicals. I fucking love Disney musicals and all this other stuff, and I put a lot of expectations on it. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh, I think this is whatever. Like, there were some moments I didn't like as it went along. But I want Frozen 2 to be really good, and I'm hopeful, and I would like to enjoy it. So I'm hoping maybe the second movie around, I'll actually maybe enjoy a little bit more. So I'm just hoping, I just kind of want them to do something different, because Frozen was too much like Tangled. If you watch Tangled, you saw Frozen. It's practically the same movie, in my opinion. There's a lot of
Yeah, I can
similarities.
kinda see it.
guess
A lot
love
of
that.
the same plot points, plot beats. I mean, it's the trio where it's like the animal, the girl, and the boy, and they go on an adventure, and the animal's really cutesy and acts, whatever. And it's
I
like,
hate him.
and then it's like,
I hate Olaf.
Yeah.
So fucking much.
God, Olaf the Snowman. I didn't care much for Olaf. I
No, I
I
absolutely-
hated
like-
the rock trolls more.
Listen,
the rock
I love.
trolls,
I fucking remember them.
Wait,
yeah, those guys were bad.
Those
Oh, I forgot that was a thing
yeah,
in Frozen.
yeah.
there's rock trolls in the movie that are
Yeah,
the
no, they
only
suck.
ones that have like magic abilities that are able to heal like the frozen heart
You,
of somebody.
you know what they were? They were just plot points.
Yeah, they were.
They really had no bearing in the movie.
Oh,
other
and they
than-
had the worst song in the entire movie, which was Fixer Upper. I fucking hate Fixer Upper. There's a scene where like one of them's talking about
Oh,
pissing.
yeah, fuck, I
And I was
remember
like,
Fixer
ew, why are
Upper.
we talking about pissing? Rock
Yeah.
troll piss.
Oh.
And I was like, eef. It was really bad, like shallow comedic
Yeah, it was
relief
a bad
humor.
look.
It was not
Although,
very good. It,
I do have
it
to say,
took me
I like-
way out of the movie.
It took you. Oh yeah, I do have to say I liked Olaf when he played Gay LeFou. I think that was the only time.
Oh, Josh Gad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Josh Gad was fine as like LeFou in like Beauty and the Beast remake and the live
Yeah.
action one. He was fine.
Oh, he played that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. You know, I didn't have too
It was
much of a
still
problem with
dangerous.
Olaf.
It's-
I did think Olaf was like a little annoying, but I definitely don't hate him as much as Joe did.
No, yeah, I absolutely fucking hated Olaf, and he like practically ruined that movie.
Oh,
for me.
Joe, by the way,
Damn.
my brothers think you love Joe. You love Olaf.
Wait, what?
I told my brothers you love Olaf. In
Why?
fact,
Why?
I told them it was your favorite character, and they all said I can see it.
Why the fuck would you say that? That is actually a lie. That is a bold-faced lie.
I was
and
gonna
you know
say
that.
it. I was gonna take it back, but they all believed it so hard. I just left it.
He's
That's
awful.
fucked up.
He's so bad.
I'm sorry. It just
I am
stuck so good.
offended.
It just stuck so good.
This is slander.
Oh man.
It is.
Yeah,
it is
fuck
slander.
off.
It is definitely slander.
How dare you?
But yeah, Frozen 2. I looked. It looks pretty good. It has
Visually,
Yeah, I
it
actually
looks
do like
really
Frozen
good. Like
two.
that
has
water.
so many hero.
Yeah, the water
the water
looked
too.
really
The
good.
first thing I thought was that water animation looks real good.
Yeah, like the animation in the trailer was like super top notch. Where I was like, "Dang, this
Yeah,
is
definitely.
really good looking." Like I was like really visually astounded by it. So that I was kind of like, okay, well, this is at least it looks really good. But I mean, what do you expect with Disney? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
So-
Yeah.
because like the one thing I'm anticipating Frozen 2 to do, because I felt like the first Frozen was very like surface level with its characters, and
Yeah.
that's why I found myself not really getting invested that much. Like you had the main heroine, you had kind of the anti-hero, you had the love interest,
Yeah.
you had like a comedy character, and then you had the villain. And
Right.
besides that, like they didn't really serve a purpose beyond that, and I found myself like not giving a shit. Whereas this movie looks like they're a little more involved on like a personal level.
Yeah.
Again, it's just a 2-minute trailer with like very little dialogue.
Yeah.
So we really don't have a
Yeah.
good like taste
Yeah.
for the characters. But because, we had our bullshit first movie. So
Yeah.
now with the second movie we can develop them.
Yeah,
That's what
is
I'm
what I'm
hoping
hoping
for
they do.
because when I was watching the first Frozen, when you were saying like the characters are very surface level, for me all I
Yeah.
could think of is, oh, holy crap, Anna is just Rapunzel, and then Flynn Rider is just Kristoff, and like that's all I
Yeah.
could think of throughout the whole movie was, wow, this character is just that said character. And it doesn't help that also the director of Tangled was the director of Frozen as well, so it was like they just carried a lot and copied and pasted. So it felt really lazy in that level. So I do actually agree completely with you, Joe, on that one, where it's like I hope they develop a little bit more, and I hope they do a little bit more with
Yeah,
them.
I
and
really do,
They kind
yeah.
of
Joe,
take part
Wait,
away.
what's up?
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say, if in Frozen 2 they come out and they're like, they give Olaf just this like really amazing character arc, would they be able? Would it be possible for them to redeem him in your eyes?
I don't believe it, but we are very much open to the possibility.
And like
What if
someday,
they hardcore murdered him in the opening scene?
I mean, I wouldn't mind that.
Like Goodfellas level of bloody, gross murder.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind
As
that.
gross of a murder as a pile of snow.
They
and
just
some
fucking
sticks.
you kill a pile of snow and sticks by melting him, and it's just this brutal, awful murder.
What
you just
if-
hear Josh Gad screaming as he just melts.
what if they do like another sequel, and it's called Frozen 3?
Okay.
But it takes place like 200 years in the future, and everyone's dead except Olaf because he's a magic snowman. And it's like real fucked up, and it's just like grumpy old man Olaf, and he's like real fucked up, and he's living in like this frozen wasteland.
Old man
I don't
Olaf.
want that. I don't want any of that.
Oh,
At that
you know
point, if Frozen 3 does that, I will just not see
Wait,
the
but
movie.
Joe,
I'll take-
Joe, but he has a gun.
Harry, I'll take
Oh,
your.
come on.
Harry,
That's.
Harry,
I mean, that sounds chaotic enough where that's maybe something I'd watch on like a stream rental.
Dude,
That's good enough.
theaters,
That's good enough for me.
fuck,
I'll
I
take it.
Dude, I will fucking slam down $10 right on the table right goddamn now to watch Olaf with a gun in the post-apocalyptic wasteland of The Day After Tomorrow, where it's just the winter wonderland of hell, and he fights off the wolves. It's directed by Roland Emmerich.
there's a shot of a single wolf like laying down on the ground. The rest of his pack is dead, and Olaf like leans in, and he's like, "You feeling lucky, punk?"
I
He just
hate it.
fucking blows him away.
Double tap the wolf.
Oh, he's gotta
I
have Dirty
hate
Harry's
it.
Magnum. He just blows him away with a giant fucking Magnum. Half of his arm rips off for comedic relief. And then you just throw under a bazinga and a laugh track.
No warm hugs for you.
I just do not fuck with
absolutely.
those
He just
movies.
has a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He's like, "Hasta la vista, motherfucker." And just blows some fucker away.
So I have a projected hope for this movie.
Okay.
And I hope it sees out. So in the trailer we see, Elsa uses the ice, but we see a spot where like someone's moving the wind, it looks like, and picking someone up with it. So I hope that like maybe there's someone else who like moves the earth, maybe there's someone else who controls the water, and then maybe there's like one person who's like the chosen one who can do all of the elements at the same time.
It's just Avatar.
God.
I would not be upset if it was a new Avatar movie.
If they were like, actually Frozen's in the Avatar The Last Airbender universe, I would actually shit my pants in the theater. And it would be like, yo, what's that smell?
It's
Wait, are you
Ryan's
talking about
astonishment.
TV show Avatar?
Yeah. Not.
Okay,
I
okay,
doubt.
just
I
making sure.
really doubt Navi would fly in, or Elsa
never-
would go to the.
Okay, but
Elsa
Corey-
would go to Pandora.
But Corey,
What?
with Disney's purchase of Fox,
Oh,
they
shit,
now
you're
have
right.
the Avatar movies.
Oh, fuck. Yo,
You're right.
Olaf gets crushed by the giant bison, and that's how the movie ends.
God.
He gets killed by Appa.
Olaf pilots one of the giant mechs.
Awa takes Olaf's spirit and turns it into one of the horses from the Avatar movies.
It's just the horse, but with his face.
It's got a fucking carrot nose.
It's got the buck teeth and everything. The 3 strands of little tough hair at the top.
Jeez.
Ugh,
I'm a horse now.
I'm gonna throw up.
No.
Oh, jeez.
There's like this one moment in the first Frozen that I will always remember. It's like Olaf first like flies really far for some reason, like he gets knocked back or something like that, and then an icicle impales him, and like he looks down and like this stupid fucking snowman face. It's just like, well, I guess I got impaled,
No,
and like it's just
It was
I hate
that he
it.
was walking and talking and he wasn't paying attention. And then he just impales himself into an icicle. And then he's like, "Oh, I've impaled myself." And that was the joke. Was he just walked
just
into
like-
an
Ryan
icicle?
has seen this movie 8 times, Joe.
I have been subjected to the movie at least about 5 times, and each time I have not found it to be as entertaining as the first.
I've been subjected to all of the memes like online when I used to be on Twitter, so I feel that pain.
Somebody
Just let it
bought
go,
me
Joe.
Frozen.
How about
Jesus
I'll
Christ!
never let it go.
Somebody bought me Frozen just so that I would like it. That doesn't help me.
That's how that
doesn't
works.
fucking help. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, why? Why? Why would you
I
give me
got
this?
so mad that I gave myself a Charlie
Oh my
horse. Holy
god.
shit.
Hey, friendo, I heard you. Wait, just now?
Fuck. Yeah. Just fucking now. Jesus Christ. Ow.
Holy crap.
I'm scared
Wait,
to
what
bend
did
my
you-
leg.
What did you, like,
he is.
did you
is just
stand
like-
up, or
ten-
did you, like...
I just tensed my leg up and it fucking gave me a Charlie horse.
Dude,
Oh my
that
God.
Olaf is really
Thinking
getting
of-
you, dude.
Thinking of Olaf, like, physically pains Joe.
We've been talking too much about him that suddenly
Yeah, no,
Joe's
we need to
body's
stop.
reacting.
It's
Maybe
fucking-
that's a good sign to move on from Frozen.
Yeah,
That's a
fucking
really
please.
good idea.
Alright.
Okay, so my last bit is about how awful the Oscars are, but I think it ties into my question I have at the end. for like the question segment. So I'm gonna
You wanna save
package
it for
that.
then?
I'm
Okay.
gonna save it for then,
That's fine.
and we'll move on to somebody take it.
Ryan.
I guess
There,
I'll
it's
take
Ryan.
it. It's me, Ryan. Okay, so literally about an hour ago just came back from the movie theater, and I saw Alita Battle Angel.
Oh yeah,
How was
that
it?
movie's supposed to be good.
First impressions.
I wanted to see it.
Okay,
So
I would definitely say, I don't take this as you will. This is the best live action United States anime adapted movie I've ever seen.
Ooh.
Okay.
But that's putting it onto a pedestal where you're up against movies like Death Note, Ghost
Yeah.
in the Shell.
Hey,
All right,
I mean,
wait,
I
okay,
like. I
wait.
like.
I will
like Death
defend
liked
Death Note to the
Note.
grave.
Death
Yeah, no,
Note.
I liked Death Note.
I love that
I
movie.
didn't. I fucking hate Death Note.
I think-
Like, okay,
You have to be
okay,
going into it
if you
with the
like,
right mindset.
Yeah.
That's
the
Final
thing, like, if you're
Destination. If you
expecting-
watch it as Final Destination, sure.
Yeah.
like that's the thing. Like, it's a different adaptation, but I think it's still a fun movie.
Yeah, I have had
I
to
hated
defend
it.
my appreciation for that movie many times, and I always,
Yeah, same.
all I ever have to say is, there's a sex scene where they reach over and stroke the Death Note while they're fucking. Like,
I love it
like,
so
come
much.
on.
I hate that fucking movie! God
Whoa!
damn it.
Careful! Don't give yourself a Charlie horse.
I know, I don't want to give myself a Charlie horse over here.
And hey, fight me.
I'm sorry.
I liked Elle in that movie.
I fucking hated it. I hated everything about it. Like, I did not like the cast.
I love that movie.
Listen,
I
I specifically
really hate
love
that movie.
the gore in that movie.
I think
Oh, yeah, it's
Like
gory
the guy
as
at the
fuck.
beginning who gets his head decapitated.
I thought,
like,
dude, I fucking laughed so hard I peed. It
no, it was so.
awful.
That's it. It was so good. Like it was just so over
It
the
was
top
not.
and
It was-
ridiculous.
I don't know. I
It
feel
was
like we were
so
looking for
dumb.
different things in this movie, Ryan.
I think we were. I think
You
we
know what?
were.
Also, I think Harry, Joe, we saw it at the same time, and we all knew we were gonna like
yeah.
laugh at this movie at the same
We all,
time.
we
Oh,
all watched
yeah.
it together with a very specific purpose.
Actually,
Yeah.
the chase scene where like Elle is chasing Light. When they like, he was just shoving people out of the way and just like bashing into stuff and jumping onto tables onto people's like dinner and
Yeah.
shit. I was
It was
laughing so
amazing.
fucking hard. I was like, I couldn't breathe. I had to pause it, and I was like, this is the best scene in the whole movie, and it is supposed to be this intense chase, but it was the fucking goofiest shit I'd ever seen in my life. And I loved it.
That's why
So
it's a
that was
great
the
movie.
one scene I will absolutely defend in Death Note. Was the chase scene between Light and Elle. That was incredible.
That was so good.
That was so
No,
bad.
like,
It was
I loved
hilarious. But
I loved all that movie.
But I guess Alita Battle Angel. I guess I'm gonna talk a little bit also about the manga because I did read 3 volumes of the manga before going to see this movie. And I'm gonna put this out here. The manga is way better. It makes more sense, obviously, when they get into aspects of the story, how it flows a little bit better. Alita in the manga is a lot younger, so a lot of the fathery aspects of the movie makes a little bit more sense there. Whereas here, she's like a 16-year-old or so, but she has like the attitude of like a child, so it's like really bizarre and it doesn't really work. And all the kids in the movie are a lot older than they are in the manga, so it's a little weird, and honestly, I think it works better in the manga, so I'm just going to put that out there. But I admire this movie a little bit because at least there were moments where I said, oh shit, that is like a direct rip from the manga, and it's awesome. And I was like, great, that's really well done. Unlike a lot of these other ones that you've seen, where they don't even like acknowledge a lot of scenes, or they take a lot of liberties with it. This one actually like attempts to adapt the manga, even though the events leading up to it aren't the same, or they will, they'll trim things out, or they'll kind of cut
Like, they'll
parts.
take liberties.
Yeah, they'll kind of like take parts from early on in the manga and make it later in the movie, or or whatever, or later parts in the manga and put it a little earlier in the movie, things like that. And they go across like a decent amount. I kind of respected that, though, and I was like, well, this is kind of nice, so if you're a fan of the manga, you're going to recognize moments and scenes and things where you're like, oh, yeah, that was in there, they're doing this now. So that, in and of itself, is really good, and I was, like, actually really happy about that. For the most part, everything visually looks pretty good, but
Pretty dang good.
It's
Uh-oh.
Alita's anime eyes.
Oh yeah, I had a feeling you were
yeah,
gonna bring that up.
There are moments where when the camera is far back or she's squinting, it looks fine. But then when she opens her eyes wider, they look fucking goofy, and you're like, ugh. And sometimes when the
It's
camera's
such a
like super
weird
close,
direction.
it is, because everybody else is like normal, and she's the only fully CGI character, really, because everybody, at least they keep their face normal, but their robot body might be CG. But like, for the most
So
part,
she's like 100%.
she's 100% mocapped. And I was like, you could easily have made Alita like where they had her realistic like head, and then they just kept her body CG or something like that, or whatever. But she's wearing clothes over it all the time, but they're all motion captured clothes too. But they have like also legitimate clothes that are like real when they're just sitting there on a pile, so it looks really weird. I don't know. Like,
I guess it is like
It's
interesting from like a visual standpoint or a marketing standpoint, but like I'm also just like,
the anime
damn,
eyes
those
really
are
kinda,
like those are very CG'd eyes.
they
Weren't
are
her eyes
absolutely.
bigger at one point? Didn't they actually like shrink them down from their original design?
I don't
Probably.
know. They probably did, because there were moments where I wasn't thinking about it and it was fine, but then there were moments where suddenly something would happen and my focus would go right to the eyes and go, ugh. And then there's a moment where they zoom into the eyes many times, so that gets really weird. So you're like, ugh. And I don't know.
I have to say though, the eyes. Obviously haven't seen the movie, but based on the trailers, the eyes didn't really bother me because it was kind of like that was the idea. Is they're supposed to look unnatural because she's like a human that's a robot.
Right.
So it was kind of like it was like with Ready Player One, where everything kind of looked uncanny, but it was kind of like that's the point.
It's that is a very good point, and it is very much like that. A lot of the visually, you know how like Ready Player One was a pretty visually competent movie, and it was good looking, at least.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, Alita Battle Angel is exactly the same on a visual level. I also kind of think that the dialogue is a little ropey, because personally, I'm going to admit something. I think James Cameron's a great director. I don't think he's a good writer, though. And it goes to show in some of this dialogue that he has, where they're like, where they're like, the only thing I love is you. And it's like, they'll say like things that are like something that you would hear out of the fucking Star Wars prequels from like, the I hate sand scenes or something like that. They would have some real hokey dialogue in there.
Should I bring back the ultimate intimacy?
No, we can leave that in the lost episode.
Avatar.
There's actually something they also adapted from the manga that I didn't really care from the manga, but there's insta love in the movie where literally the character sees a boy and goes, "I love that boy," and it's in the manga, unfortunately, so it's a problem in the manga, but it's they kept it in the movie, and literally she locks eyes with the boy and she's like, "I love him," and I'm like, oh fuck. Like,
See, if
That's
only it was actually that easy.
I know,
We
right?
wouldn't have to
That's
worry
anime,
about
baby.
finding love
I know.
if you could just look at them.
Yeah, there is one thing that I will admit that I think is consistently good throughout this whole movie, and it's the action scenes. All the action
yeah,
scenes
those looked good.
are very good. Like, I think there is one action scene in particular, and it's the motorball scene, which is a sport that they play in the movie. It is probably
Wasn't
by
that shown
far
in the trailer?
the best fucking action scene in the entire movie, hands down. And I was like, that was the most invested I felt. I was like, holy shit, that was like exhilarating to sit through. So I honestly, for the price of admission, go watch it literally just to watch the motorball scene on the big screen. I saw this in IMAX 3D as well, and surprisingly enough, the 3D was actually really good, and I hate 3D. This was actually really good.
I heard a lot of people said like if you're going to go see this movie, see it in 3D.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah, because it's like pretty much a 100% CG movie, right?
yeah, for the most part.
Like for like the scenes and stuff like that.
yeah,
Because that would make sense to me.
There's a lot of CG in the film, except obviously a lot of the all the actors are pretty much there, except for maybe the exception of like a couple.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, this is a really big CG project. I mean, it's a big budgeted movie. I think this is probably my favorite when it comes to anime adapted movies, and I mean, it's fun, but I wouldn't go as far as to say I love the movie. There's still things I didn't care for. There's still things that I think they could fix. I obvious, and also the movie just kind of ends. I'm not going to say anything, but it just kind of ends, and it's sequel bait. Hard sequel bait. They expect this movie to make big top dollar numbers, and they're making a second movie. Absolutely. So they are putting all their chips on the table for that one. So I'll see where it goes, because I'm actually willing to go see a sequel for this, and I'm actually kind of interested to know what they're going to do next. But what we got thus far, I think it's competent, it's decent, and it's better than most of the anime adapted films I've seen. And I wouldn't go as far as to go, yes, this shit was perfect. This is the gold standard. So yeah,
yeah, I'll probably go see it soon.
Yeah,
so I have that AMC Movie Pass thing, so
yeah, take a weekend, go see it. Yeah, check it out. It's fun, and don't go into it expecting pure art. I guess
Oh dang, that's exactly what I was expecting.
Yeah, don't expect like a Schindler's Fist or
pure art from the guys that made Avatar,
Planet Terror,
and Spy Kids.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, no, it was fun. I had a good time, so that was a fun little romp. But I also do recommend as well Battle Angel Alita, the manga. It's very good, and I plan to finish that because it was really freaking good. I liked that manga a whole lot, so I was reading that this weekend as well. So
I know
that's
for
part
a
of
fact,
my week.
Spy Kids is an artistic masterpiece.
Dude, those thumbs.
I love Spy Kids.
I mean, with lines like, "Does God stay in heaven? Because maybe he too here's
what he's created."
Dude,
it's perfect. It's a beautiful
fucking loved Island of Lost Dreams when that shit came out. That movie was the best.
Yeah, I saw that movie when I actually took a half day in school to go see that movie when it came out.
Yeah,
I remember
dude.
that.
I went with my cousins.
And then I saw Spy Kids 3D literally 5 times in theaters when I was a kid.
Damn.
Wow. Joe's a diehard fan.
Oh yeah, when I was a kid, those movies were my shit. Spy Kids 3D was about a video game.
I had to rent it only to see Spy Kids 3D.
My favorite part in Spy Kids 3D was when they bring their grandpa into the game, and then he can walk again, and he's like, "All right, bye guys," and he chases a butterfly and leaves.
Yeah, no, dude, it was good. It was very good.
Khan from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, runs off to chase a butterfly. It was great. Oh, and Sylvester Calzone is in it too.
Yeah, he did it like 7 times.
He was the uncle, or he was
like
the grandpa.
Oh, and George Clooney's the president, so therefore it's the best movie ever.
I thought it was pretty great when Elijah Wood showed up for
and dies
10 seconds and then fucking dies. Not only that, but they made him 10 feet tall.
Yeah, they made him this huge deal, and then they just killed him.
Yep.
It was great. What a good fucking movie. So yeah, if you love Spy Kids 3D, go see Alita Battle Angel. I'm gonna leave it at that.
It's a good sell. It's a good sell.
That. But yeah, a solid. I mean, I'd probably give it roughly about a 5, maybe 6 out of 10. I mean, that's average to above average, where it's like, all right, yeah, all right.
All right.
I mean, I wouldn't say that's bad. I would say 5 or 6 out of 10. That's not bad. That's average. It's fine. It's a fine movie. It's middle of the road for me. There's things I love. There's things I'm like, eh.
I like the image of Ryan making that noise during the whole film.
Just going, ah!
Just Aaliyah talks and he goes, ah!
She talks, she burps, and I'm like, ah! So yeah, I also watched Doom Patrol on the DC streaming service. I saw episode 1. The pilot dropped yesterday.
How was it?
And I dug it. I enjoyed it. It was
nice.
Decent. I would definitely say it's gotten a lot of high praise beyond belief. It's got like a 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes and shit. It's like, this is where everyone says, if you don't have a DC streaming service, this is the reason to drop $7 for it. But I have a free trial, so I don't care. Yeah, apparently. But although I heard a lot of good things about Titans,
Come on, he says fuck Batman. How could you not?
Dude, the fuck Batman memes were legendary. But when I saw the promotions for Doom Patrol, I was like, this looks really bad. I don't think this is going to be very good. But honestly, it was a much better episode than I thought it was, than I thought it was going to be. Brendan Fraser plays as Robot Man, and he's pretty much the central focus of the first episode. He's kind of like the crux of most of the episode 1. It really goes a lot into his character. He's like the most well-defined character in episode 1 for sure. And I think in the other episodes they're going to explore on the other characters a lot more, but I really fucking love Brendan Fraser in this show. He is amazing as Robot Man.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So the show has Robot Man, and it also has Cyborg, and that seems kind of redundant.
Yes, I agree. But Cyborg was not in the first episode.
Okay.
So he has not been introduced yet.
I was gonna ask if
Cyborg's in the show?
it has Robot Man and Cyborg in the same show.
Which I feel like Cyborg should have been in Titans.
Yeah, that would have made more sense.
The show doesn't need 2 token robot people.
Right. 2 token robots.
I feel like they're both gonna have the same arc. Like,
yeah,
Probably.
they really are. Well, Robot Man's arc is that he loves to fuck people that aren't his wife.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
good.
like this skeezy,
sounds
sleazy
like
asshole.
Brendan Fraser.
There's lots of scenes where Brendan Fraser is just banging women, and it's kind of weird. And I was like, oh my god, this is just a hardcore sex scene. And I'm but it's with Brendan Fraser, and I'm like, dude, Brendan Fraser's kind of chunky and weird looking now, so it's like, I don't believe
the
this.
only reason Brendan Fraser hopped on board is because a bunch of sex scenes were written for him.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
'cause there's some titty and there's a lot of thrusting, and you see Brendan Fraser's ass.
Oh, is it good ass or is it like
you see him thrusting, like you see his ass thrusting.
You see the clench.
is it
Like, it zooms-
his Brendan Fraser ass or his robot ass?
It's his Brendan Fraser ass
Damn.
before he becomes robot ass.
That's weird.
So this show, it was like,
I need robot ass to compare though.
Like
I'll need a sex scene with
once they
robo
started
ass.
busting out like the Brendan Fraser character, the f-bombs and the sex scenes started piling on top of each other. I was like, holy fuck, this is a lot to take in. So that was a little lot. It was a lot. So
Yeah, it sounds
but
like it.
essentially the first episode focuses on him, on how he, you think how he gets his robot bodies because he gets in an accident while on a racetrack because he's a race driver. He wants to be like the best race car driver, and there's this crash because he sees like his wife fondling one of the dudes that like helps his car out and stuff like that, and he's like, "You're fucking my wife," and then he crashes into another car and like the car crashes into him and stuff.
Wait, how did he see that while he was driving a race car?
Yeah.
Because he looks over off to the side and just sees her doing
That's not
this.
how that
Because
works.
he's like they're talking on the headset, and suddenly he looks over, and then she's like, "Yeah, I'm doing him," and like, so that's like the wife goes into the microphone and starts saying, "Oh yeah, I'm doing him," and it's great. And then he's like, "What?" And he looks over, he's like, "You're fucking my wife," and she like grabs his dick, and then he legitimately like crashes a car.
Does he like lean out of the window and like you're
No,
fucking my wife?
no, he doesn't.
That's
no,
why
he
he
doesn't.
crashes.
He just screams it in the car while he's driving at high velocity.
Oh my gosh.
It's weird. So
Sounds like a lot.
and then he wakes up, and then he's with Timothy Dalton, and Dalton's like, "Yo, I put your brain in this robot man, so now you're a robot boy." And then he's like, "What the fuck?" And he doesn't remember anything, so he's trying to remember his memories. But he remembers his daughter, and he has to try to get his motor functions back and stuff. So a lot of it's actually really good drama at that point, where it's like him trying to remember who he was and the kind of father, and it shows that he cares about his daughter. So for me, this was like the best aspect of the show, was that it wasn't afraid to dive into those like dramatic stuff, and it did it really, really well. Like, I think it did it really well across the board with a lot of the characters, actually.
Is
The show
Robot
kind of
Man-
embraces its weird shit. Like, it's not afraid to just kind of be weird. And I kind of like that it was like, hey, we're weird, and we like that. So, so that was really fun. Most of the show is really tongue-in-cheek. There's a narrator that's really quippy and makes fun of, like, saying, that's just really breaking the fourth wall, kind of poking fun at, like, the superhero genre. And it's just like, oh, this is another bullshit, superhero story, huh? Just what you want, another one, and it's, like, kind of funny, and it parodies kind of that aspect of it. But I kind of liked that. It was kind of like, oh, okay, so it's not taking itself too seriously, so it is having some fun. Again, the characters are really well defined. So I think there's things I like about it, but the big things I don't care much for in this show is really just the visual effects, they look horrible.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is Robot Man, is he like a CGI character, or is he like an actual...
No, he is not.
He's like
It's an
practical?
actual physical character that's
Does
there.
it-
All the characters are all physical, like
How do
except
they-
for one.
Well, how do they do like the Robot Man without making it look like shit, though?
Surprisingly enough, it's just the way that the show is lit. Like it's kind of like it has like kind of like this darky kind of like shade kind of look. So it's not like it's outright brightly overlit like a comedy where like everything's super bright and you can see everything really well. So it's not like Kimmy Schmidt like well lit. It's kind of like more shrouded in like kind of like shadows and darkness. So the suit doesn't look nearly as bad in like when it's like sunny outside or anything like that. But when it's sunny outside, you see it more clearly. But it doesn't look terrible actually. It surprisingly looks okay enough. I kind of liked it, and I thought it was charming, and it's better than a CGI robot. Personally, I was kind of happy they didn't do it because I'll tell you it would have been terrible because all the other like CGI special effects in this movie looked bad. Oh, sorry, in the show, not movie. If it was a movie, it'd have a much better budget. And it would probably have better
like
effects.
A physical ass suit. Interesting.
Yeah, it's not bad looking actually in the show, but when they bust out that CGI, it looks bad. Like a car swerves off the road and bashes into like something and it's supposed to explode, but it turned into like CGI fire, and I was like, oh ew. And it was like clearly bad. Like it didn't look very good.
Oh, no.
And there was there's a lot of ropey ass effects, and some of the comedy is pretty hit and miss. There's some moments that are really funny, and then there's moments where it's like, all right, that joke kind of didn't really stick the landing. Alan Tudyk is also the main villain of the show. He got introduced. He's pretty much all special effects and CG, except for part of his face, because half his face is cut off. So
good.
It looks kind of weird, and again, it goes alongside with the bad special effects. So you're like, oh, okay. But I'm happy to see Alan Tudyk doing something, and I was like, oh, Alan Tudyk. And so it's a good cast. You have a great cast. You have really fun characters. You have some decent comedy, and I think really good dramatic moments. And
Brendan
it's
Fraser's
overall.
ass.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser's butt.
Naked butt.
And
so is this all at once that it dropped, or is it just a weekly show?
It's a show that is dropped weekly, so they have all the rest of the episodes are locked out until a specific date, and then it unlocks when that date hits. And so they only drop. It's not like Netflix where they just drop the whole series. So it's much different on the DC streaming service. But episode 1 was a solid pilot. I wouldn't go as far as to say it was the best thing ever. I would definitely say it's worth a check if you are interested. I would like to see where it goes, I guess. I think there's a lot of room for improvement. I think maybe as the show goes along, things will get a little bit better. I think they'll find their footing a little bit easier because, you can't really judge a whole series based on a pilot because a lot can change from here. So I'm really hopeful that Doom Patrol does a lot better. And I mean, it seems like a lot of people love it. So I know a lot of people that have been praising it, saying it's really great and they love it. So if you want to check it out, go ahead. But I don't know, it's fine. And then I saw Umbrella Academy, the first 3 episodes.
It's on.
I still need to watch
on Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a Netflix original series based on the Gerard Way comics from Dark Horse. And so far, I love this. I think this is really good.
I can't wait to actually sit down and watch it. I just have not had the time.
Yeah, that's fine. I wasn't sure if you were going to watch it, because if so, we could talk a little bit about it, but it's fine. I'll keep it...
Yeah, I'll try and watch it before next week, at least like a couple episodes.
Yeah. Favorite character thus far is Klaus, and if you say it's not, you're wrong. I'm just going to put that out there.
Because I've read the comics.
Yeah.
Which one is Klaus again?
Klaus-
is he new to the show?
Klaus-
How much does this adapt?
This adapts... so far, the first...
I know that's a lot.
The first season
Joe's just
so far...
rapid fire question.
So
yeah,
far,
I need to get my shit in.
The first 3 episodes, from what I've seen, adapts pretty much the part of the first volume of the series, and then also has kind of its own thing going on at the same time. So it has original stuff as well mixed in with stuff from the first volume. I know that it's doing the Apocalypse stuff from volume 1. So it's
is it going to go into Dallas, or is that going to be the second season?
That I don't know. That I actually am not
holy
sure.
shit, that is a story that they're going to have to cover.
Yeah. as of right now, they're really just building up a lot of the stuff from Volume 1.
What-
Because obviously it's like, it's a story about...
For those of us who aren't familiar, like, what is Umbrella Academy?
Yeah. Umbrella,
go ahead and explain it.
I was just about to. Umbrella Academy is just essentially a story where around the world, like, these children are born from mothers who just end up becoming pregnant, and they didn't have sex, nothing,
wow.
so they they're
Jesus.
kind of all like Virgin Mary kind of things, and these 7 babies were born, and the scientist buys the babies essentially from the moms.
no.
And essentially finds out that they're all gifted with these talents and different superpowers. And essentially it forms the Umbrella Academy. And he teaches them all how to hone their powers, except one of them actually does not have any powers, and she's just kind of like this normal person, who was played by Ellen Page in the series. And so it's just kind of like this superhero where it jumps then into the future, and they're a lot older now, they're adults, and the father dies, but they all kind of really hate him because they're like, well, you're not our real dad, and you treated us like shit, and we were guinea pigs to you. And so they're there for the funeral, and they kind of get back together, and it's just kind of like the siblings just kind of getting, like, putting together back the past and reconnecting after all these years of being apart, and kind of like going through their family drama as well as having to deal with the funeral and stuff, and things like that. And it's really, really great, and I love the family drama dynamic. We mix them with this fun, quirky action superhero show, and the action scenes are fucking great.
Yeah, the trailers made them look really good.
Yeah, the action scenes in this show are absolutely fantastic. I think the only thing that I noticed is that every time they break out into an action scene, they have to blast a pop song.
Is it
Ooh, sounds like my shit.
how much of the songs are like by Gerard Way? Because I know
None of
there's
them.
one new
None
one
of
that he wrote.
Oh,
So they're all just like
they played,
whatever.
like
Okay.
Istanbul, not Constantinople by They Might Be Giants. They
Nice.
played like I don't know. They just played.
So it's like a CW show.
Yeah, like every time there's
Okay.
an action scene, they have to blast like a pop song, and I'm just kind of like, okay. I don't really care for much for it, because the first time around I was like, oh, this is fine. But then the second time around I was like, okay, you did it again, but whatever. They did it a third time, and I was like, okay, like, I get it, but can we, like, you can let a scene play out with, like, maybe an orchestral score, or maybe if you wanted to do, like, rock songs, why don't you just have, like, a rock anthem, like, original soundtrack, like, something really cool, I guess, like just like blasting guitars and stuff like that, or guitar riffs, but it's like original score kind of stuff, not like, hey, let's just take a song and just throw it in there. So it kind of felt a little annoying after a while, but I don't know what it's going to be like for the rest of the series. But thus far, the first 3 episodes I think are excellent. I think this is great.
Yeah, I can't wait to actually watch it, and I need to get caught up with like the rest of the book because I've read at least the first issue of Hotel Oblivion.
Same, I did.
And that's
as well.
been like good so far. I know I have the third one. I don't know if I have the second. Like, it's just ordering comics online these days. It's so hard to keep track of like what I actually have and what I haven't read, and I know I have the app, but I'm lazy still with that one.
Yeah, Klaus.
I just read the shit and I'm done.
Yeah, Klaus for me is like just the best character. Like he's the drug addict guy that's in rehab and stuff like that. So he's
I'm trying to remember who he was in the book because it's been so long.
He is easily the funniest character because he has like the most dry wit sarcasm where he's always like, "Oh, you're fucking garbage, but I still love you," and he's always doing that kind of shit all the time. But it's like extremely witty and really funny. So,
oh, it's that guy. Okay, I know who that is.
Well,
yeah.
All you
I just
listeners, look up
of him.
Klaus, and I'm sure you'll find what he looks like. So then you can understand Joe's. Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, I remember this guy.
But yeah, no, easily best character in the show. He's the show stealer. He honestly has the funniest lines, the best scenes, and just everything about that. But yeah, I actually really highly recommend Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Cool.
You can watch the whole series right now. I plan to watch the rest of it once I'm moved into my new place,
how
and
many
I'm gonna
episodes
binge
are
it.
out?
I think there's 10
think it's
episodes,
Yeah,
if I'm not
it's 10
mistaken.
episodes.
So,
So I just looked up Umbrella Klaus just to see if I could find him. I'm getting a "Did you mean Umbrella Claus?" and pages of Santa Claus on umbrellas, holding umbrellas,
God.
Getty images of like Santa with an umbrella, just
God.
mountains of Santa and an umbrella.
Any Coca-Cola ads? Sorry, show's not sponsored by Coca-Cola, by the way.
Yeah, it's show's not sponsored by that word. We're gonna bleep it out
Oh,
unless we forget to, and then we don't.
That's a very real possibility.
It's a probability.
we get an NDA.
Can we make it canonical that we ask whatever editor to like do something and then it never happens?
God.
I feel like that sounds
God.
like in the spirit of Oh Baby.
It's just like, hey, do this
No
thing.
shit.
Doesn't happen. We're such a fucking mess.
We're a failure to
Yep.
society.
Yep.
I guess to stick within TV and movies, I guess I could jump into news. I guess unless there's anything else you want to add about Umbrella Academy to any of you guys, or any
it
questions
sounds-
you have about it.
Also
cool.
read the
I'm
books.
gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'll try out the first episode if I get the chance.
Yeah. And also
You know,
anything about
definitely
Doom
read
Patrol
the books.
as well.
And also, just fucking Gerard Way's a really talented guy. Just fucking listen to his albums, listen to My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I agree. Anything?
I mean, I know he kind of fucked up with the young animal shit. We want to talk about that.
Yeah, we're just we could sweep that shit under our rug. He's also
Everyone
an
has
executive
their
producer on
blemishes.
the show as well. So
Yeah, I get. Yeah. He's like, I mean, because it's his baby, you know.
yeah. So, but I think the Umbrella Academy show actually keeps really well in tune with what makes the comic really good. And yeah, it's not like 100% accurate to it all, but I think there's enough there to enjoy. Although in episode 1 there is an extended dancing number that I did not expect.
Which is interesting.
It was weird, and I was like, "Where's this dancing number coming from?" And then it goes on for like 3 minutes straight. It's just them dancing, and I was like,
'Cause, like,
all right,
I could never see like the comic being like perfectly adapted unless it was like an animated series. No way in hell.
Oh, yeah.
So like what I've seen of the show and like what I've seen of the casting liberties and like what they did with the characters, it's still iconic.
yeah,
Like it's still like the comic, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just like not one for one.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's not as vibrant or as colorful as the comic can be. Like you know how
Yeah.
how I don't know. I feel like
It's
the
like
comic
super colorful.
Yeah, the comic's really vibrant, and this is a little bit more darker and drearier looking.
Which I think is also fine.
Yeah,
like I feel
it's
like a lot of
fine.
people that a lot of people who know Umbrella Academy and who know Gerard Way would probably expect that
Yeah.
out of an Umbrella Academy TV show. So like I think that's fair. That's a fair thing.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I'm digging it. I'm gonna continue watching it. I'm gonna finish the first season, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. So yeah, I'd actually recommend it. And based on the first 3 episodes, I want people to watch it. It's great. So
Oh, yeah.
I recommend actually Umbrella Academy over Doom Patrol, even though I've been reading a lot of people online going, "Yo, you should watch Doom Patrol over Umbrella Academy."
But Brendan's
But-
ass.
But Brendan Fraser's ass, though. I mean, I think that's probably why everybody's like,
I can
"Yo,
live
you
without
could
it.
see that baby thrust."
Yeah, no, I
Baby.
can definitely live
Oh.
without it.
you could see his 2 cheeks just kind of slap, you know?
Oh.
Come on, don't you all just want extended? Don't you just want multiple scenes of Brendan Fraser just having just crazy wild sex?
So Riot,
yeah,
I'm seeing
that's
Are You
definitely
Afraid of the Dark on the docket. What's that about?
yeah. Under my TV and movies talk, I guess. Are You Afraid of the Dark is getting a feature film and revived as a show on Nickelodeon. Which
What is Are You Afraid
Yeah, you
of
know,
the Dark?
I've been really hoping.
Because I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I thought you guys knew.
Are
and I
You
had
Afraid
no
of the
idea.
Dark is just a Nickelodeon television show that's like Goosebumps, where it was
Yeah.
supposed to be like these campfire stories. Back in the 90s, the show aired, and it was really popular, and it was like, hey, these kids around the campfire tell spooky ghost stories or whatever, and it's just like it's like kind of like the Tales from the Crypt for kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know, back in the 90s, I feel like Are You Afraid of the Dark was fine, but like...
yeah.
Trying to remake it now, I don't think it's going to have the same effect. Also, I don't think a movie's going to do very well, personally, because I don't really know the audience it's going for, because it seems like it's going to probably gear towards kids, because obviously it's Nickelodeon.
Right.
It's going to be a Nickelodeon film, so it's going to be very child-friendly, but children nowadays aren't gonna be like, oh hell yeah, I'm so excited for that. Are You Afraid of the Dark? But because the only ones that are gonna know are like the 30 to 25-year-olds like myself, who
See,
are like,
I'm
I'm not gonna go see it because it's a kids movie.
I'm
I
a
guess,
little excited to see like what the TV show has to offer. I'm probably not going to see the movie, but I remember like watching reruns of Are You Afraid of the Dark, and I loved it. It was like scared the shit out of me because I was like 5 or like
Yeah.
6, but at the same time, like it was just a unique genre of like children's horror. I don't know,
Yeah.
and they managed to do it. I only think if they want to do it again, they really have to not focus on like it revolving around iPhones.
Well,
Or like-
I was
or like
gonna make a joke
Fortnite.
about that,
That's a
saying that the
tall
scary
order.
story that the one kid's like, and all the phones were gone, and then literally all the kids went screaming, and then I was like, yeah, that's Are You Afraid of the Dark 2020, right, or whatever this year it's supposed to be coming out.
No, I could just
I don't
see it
know.
now where it's like, hey, did you get that? Did you get that new emoji? That new weird emoji? And everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh, I've been texting that weird the new emoji that no one knows about. It's a secret special emoji. And like apparently the emoji's haunted and it like it
Oh, dude,
finds
that's
your,
totally gonna
finds
happen.
your
I know
parents
it.
and it strangles your cat.
What if they do
Yeah.
one? What if they do one that?
Yeah, no, that is absolutely
What if they
happening.
do one that's haunted Fortnite?
They do the
Oh, dude, haunted video game?
If you die in the game, you
Absolutely.
die in real life.
There's a
Totally gonna
kid
happen.
that's stuck flossing for the rest of his life.
I was
He's
gonna-
just-
I
he
was-
can't stop.
I was just gonna do a bit about that
He
where it's like
flosses
the mom
so hard
walks
that
in the
he
room.
takes off. He just flies away.
Timmy, stop flossing! And he's like crying. He's like, I can't, Mom, I can't. And he's crying, and he's been doing it for days. There's
Dude, it's
piss
gonna
and
have
shit
so much
all around
stupid
him.
like shit like that.
I got sucked into Fortnite. Help me. And then all you hear is the ba, 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 and everyone's like, and then the kid starts screaming.
The name of the episode is like The Kid That Flossed.
The kid that- Well, it's gonna be a mini series, so it's not gonna be like a full length TV series. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess it's gonna be a mini series. But the movie's supposed to be slated to come out October 4th, 2019. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna be skeptical because Nickelodeon hasn't made anything good in a really long time. So. And it's gonna be a lot. I don't think they could do nearly what they could have done in the 90s. Like, you know how like TV, like you can't get away with some of the stuff they did back in the past. I don't think they're going to be able to do that, especially with children's horror. I feel like they're going to start barring it back a little bit. So I don't know. And also, I'm afraid it's going to be like the Powerpuff Girls, kind of like how they did shit like that.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna watch either of these, so
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't care. Honestly.
It-
I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
whether or not it ends
I'm
up
pretty
being
interested in
good,
it.
doesn't mean much to me.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Um,
if you guys are interested in it and you like it, that's cool.
Yeah. And also, I guess, like, it kind of goes in tow with, like, I guess Kenan Thompson's also bringing back All That, and he's going to be, like, he's going to be a producer.
Yeah,
So, Kenan Thompson's bringing back All That as well. So that's another 90s Nick TV show they're trying to bring back, because I think they're trying to bring back an audience into it again, into Nickelodeon again, but by digging up the past. And it's just kind of
Yeah,
like...
that's just Nickelodeon. That's classic Nickelodeon.
It really is.
business
So
model.
I'm like, so this kind of goes right up there with that, where it's like, all right.
They're just like some of the most like, you know, low risk, low reward that I've ever seen of like a children's company.
Yeah.
Because like they're just
Oh,
not
that
interested.
reminds me,
No.
I do have some kind of weird news regarding. It's not.
Oh, okay.
I didn't put it on the docket because it's not important.
Oh,
but
please go ahead.
It's like the 20th anniversary of SpongeBob or something. So they're making a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of spin-off
shit.
shows for all the characters. Like
Wait.
they're gonna make a
gosh.
Squidward TV show. Like
Oh, no.
No.
like they're gonna make spin-offs and movies and stuff.
Because we absolutely need more
I don't-
SpongeBob.
I was
don't
just
know.
about to say,
I don't know the specifics of it because I only like, you know, like kind of like glanced through the article that I read. But yeah, it's like they're like, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of fucking SpongeBob this year, guys. Get ready.
I was about to make a joke about like, oh, I can't wait to see the Gary movie or the Gary episode, but I'm pretty positive they would definitely get on that.
Didn't they? They already
Probably.
did a Gary episode.
They
of
did
SpongeBob.
a Gary, like Finding Gary, but I'm talking about
Yeah.
like Gary has a voice actor that isn't Tom Kenny.
Oh,
It's like,
is it
oh,
like is it like
no.
the librarian
oh shit,
the episode where like Gary was like the one who did the Man from Peru
the
poem
once
to
was a man
SpongeBob
from
in his
Peru.
sleep?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's just that character of Gary from that specific episode of SpongeBob.
oh my god.
So people will be like, oh, it's that thing, because Nickelodeon just loves to just judge up their old shit and just throw it on TV and just hope it works because
Yeah.
their ratings are dropping.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, they're
What-
they're not doing
What
great
even
right now.
No.
is on like Nickelodeon now?
Trash.
SpongeBob.
It's like I know
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob's there.
What's
I don't
what's
know
the
what
kid?
else is on Nickelodeon.
What's the kid and
Mighty
his
Magic
neighbors?
Swords, I think.
I mean, I know there's that like one. It's like the show about the kid with the white hair and his sisters or whatever. I know that's
Anything.
on.
Oh, the Loud House.
Loud House.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's Clarence, I think, is a show on
No, that's
Nickelodeon.
No, that's
now.
Cartoon Network.
Is that
no, that's Cartoon Network.
Ugh.
Yeah.
See, Cartoon Network actually fucking adapts to their time.
What's the-
Cartoon
what's
Network
the-
has
Like, I mean,
shows
I-
that people watch.
I don't watch it, but like they keep like they do their goal of tying kids in to the media that they create. So like they're still doing their job right.
I think out of the three between Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, and Cartoon Network still stands at the top,
Yeah.
personally, with at least
Yeah,
original
I always
programming.
felt
Does
that.
Nickelodeon still have Planet Sheen, the spin-off of Jimmy Neutron?
that got canceled ages ago.
remember.
I think that show
They should
maybe
bring it
had
back.
2 seasons.
I wanna
I mean, if they're gonna
revamp
drug
Planet
up
Sheen.
anything, like if they're gonna bring up anything back from Nickelodeon's past, it has to be Planet Sheen.
Can we get? I know. I want Planet Carl. I want just a new
Oh,
show.
Carl's just like, oh, and he's just constantly like complaining about lima beans and puffing his inhaler.
Could you imagine an entire show revolving around a kid who doesn't want to do anything, and people are telling him just you have to do this, and Carl's like, no.
And then Carl wants to fuck a three-titted alien woman.
Oh god,
Oh my gosh,
this is a lot.
Carl, you have to. You have to put your
And
bean
then
in the
Brendan
hole.
Fraser's ass gets cut into it.
They both
I
have
hate
Brendan
it.
Fraser for Carl.
Thanks, I hate it.
Oh shit.
But yeah, anyways. Also, Chapter 2 gets a test screening, and it was apparently 3 hours long.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
That's
You know
really
what?
fucking
I'm not
long.
surprised, honestly. For the test screening, I think it's bound
probably
to change.
everything.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's probably a really extreme uncut version of like
Yeah.
a practically beat by beat of the book, because you could kill a man with that book by just dropping it on his toe.
Oh yeah.
You could.
It's literally like 1,000 pages.
Yeah.
Like you could like if you drop that book out of your hands, it's gonna fucking crack the
Yeah,
earth.
that's gonna amputate someone's foot. Like,
Oh yeah.
What, Doctor, what happened to this man? He dropped it on his foot. Oh fuck!
It's like Mjolnir. No one can lift it. It's just it's stuck wherever
Yeah.
it
only
lands.
Stephen
He's just
King.
like it's like fucking lead.
Only Stephen King can lift it. You have to call him anytime someone wants his book. He has to pick it up and turn. He has to turn the page of everyone who wants to read it.
I would be interested to see like what they cut from this
Yeah.
version to make it more like, because I think audiences are very used to 2.5, actually more like 2:45.
Mm-hmm.
They're very used to that length these days. So I think that would be okay.
Yeah.
But I think that like
Yeah.
10 minutes accounts for credits, right? Like usually.
Yeah.
So it's really going to be like a 2.5-hour movie. They can probably save like a long cut for DVD.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like streaming.
Possibly.
Whatever.
I feel like if they do an uncut version of the movie, they should definitely wait for it to be a DVD thing or like a Blu-ray.
Yeah, because like,
you know?
god damn it, I don't want to be in a theater for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I
Well-
feel like that's a lot.
Joe, you and I know. Joe and I made a movie for our our like college capstone, and the
Yeah.
first cut of that movie was like dumb. It was I think like 30-something minutes, and it was
I think
it
so.
was supposed to be 30 minutes, but we ended up cutting out a lot of unnecessary bits.
Yeah,
and
like,
it came down to
didn't
like
we end
25.
up making that movie like 25?
Yeah, 25
Yeah.
minutes was the final. So we ended up cutting out a lot, and I think we actually cut down to like 20 something, and then added more.
Yeah, we cut down pretty good.
when we added some stuff. So yeah, the movies, would not be surprised if it changes dramatically.
Like dramatically.
Like they
yeah.
cut out a whole chapter.
Yeah.
Because, like, why the fuck is this necessary for a movie?
Yeah. We get a nice long extended scene of Bill Hader eating pickles
Oh
God.
good.
for like
yeah.
for like 20
Oh,
minutes.
fuck, is Bill Hader in this movie?
Yeah, he plays as Richie.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I just watched Barry, so I'm
Oh,
very
nice.
familiar with Bill Hader.
Yeah, Bill Hader's in it. James McAvoy from Split and Glass and X-Men and stuff like that as Charles Xavier. He's in the film. You got, you have a really good cast. There's Jessica Chastain as Bev. I mean, I think the casting for the adults are really good, and I think the adult actors will do way better than the Tim Curry miniseries.
I'm
Who
really,
plays
I'm
older
really worried.
Pennywise?
I'm really worried because I really love the original It, and the second half is the best part because it's like stupid as hell.
Yeah.
Do you think they're?
Let me.
I hope to.
I'm really worried because I know they're gonna cut my favorite part.
I know exactly what
I
you're
think I
talking
know what
about.
part it is.
Are you
Hold on.
talking about the thing with the moon?
Okay, that's one of my favorite parts. I have two favorite
That's a
parts.
great scene.
There's the one where Pennywise turns into the moon. That part's definitely cut because in the original miniseries,
Because that's a
no,
lot.
because in the original miniseries, the guy that he's talking to is the bully grown up, and he died in the first part of the new movies.
Yeah.
So that
Oh.
part definitely is not going to be there because the character's dead.
Yeah.
But the other important part that I feel like they're probably going to cut is the part where the kid who was fat, he grows up into just an adult or whatever. And there's a scene where he makes out with the girl because he had a crush on her when they were kids.
With Bev.
And then
yeah.
while he's
Yeah.
making out with her, he opens her eyes and it's Pennywise, and he goes, "Kiss me, fat boy."
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
fucking
God.
part. I love that part so much.
Oh,
when
God.
Tim Curry just goes, "Kiss me, fat boy." I lost my mind, and I was in love with that scene so much. I was like, dude, I wouldn't even be scared about that. If I made out with Tim Curry as Pennywise, I would be happy.
I love the goofiness of the part where they're all coming back to town, and he gets out of his car and he looks and there's just Pennywise and he's digging graves and he's just like, this is your grave, you're gonna die. It's like, all right.
He's waving at them and stuff like
Yeah.
that. He's like, "Hi, I'm
He's
digging
like,
your grave."
welcome back, guys.
Oh, it's
Yeah, no, this movie is
it's
definitely going to be
Not gonna be as goofy.
not as
and
campy.
I'm
they're
sad.
No.
gonna cut the camp of it. But
I do really like the direction they took. I thought it being more serious might not really be as fun.
might not really actually hurt
But
it.
they
there was still comedy in it though.
They definitely,
a
yeah.
lot of it was from Richie and
Yeah, dude,
Eddie.
he was the best.
Richie and Eddie were the funniest characters in the whole thing because Eddie's really neurotic about germs and diseases and stuff. So he's
Yeah,
and
he
he
was
plays
really good.
right off with Richie, and it was just absolutely hilarious between those two characters.
I love the first one,
So-
so I'm
Fucking-
definitely still really excited for this one. But it's just gonna
Yeah, me too.
be
Fucking
weird because
when,
all of my favorite stuff's probably gonna be gone.
Yeah,
But fucking, when there's new stuff the list of chicks I've banged as long as my wang, it's that is, come on, there's gonna be new good stuff like that
There
too.
is.
They have the liberty.
gonna be.
It's not a TV movie.
yeah,
I don't wanna-
they'll definitely have its moments. I'm sure they're gonna keep some of its really funny moments or some goofy lines of dialogue because it's a Stephen King movie. So
Also,
no, I still think it's
speaking
gonna be good.
of
yeah, I agree.
Stephen King movies, have you guys seen the trailer for Pet Sematary?
Yeah, actually, I got
No.
a trailer for before Alita Battle Angel, and it was my second time seeing that trailer. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with them remaking it because the original wasn't very good.
I haven't seen it yet.
You
the
should
trailer.
watch the trailer.
Yeah, no, I haven't
I'm
seen it
really
either.
into it. That movie, I think it looks really
Yeah.
cool.
I think it looks pretty decent. I'm actually really interested and pretty excited about it too. I think out of all the movies that needs a remake, I definitely think Pet Sematary deserves one
looks-
because the original's not that great.
The trailer has just a really good atmosphere, a good feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good horror movie trailer. I don't know if the movie's going to be as good,
Yeah.
but I really like that
Yeah.
trailer.
We'll see.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful about Pet Sematary, but I guess we'll have to see when it comes out. though.
Yeah. I'm going to go see it, so I'll definitely talk about it.
I'm gonna kind of blow through this pretty quickly, I guess, just because I don't want to waste too much time.
Yeah,
but
we've been on
video games I
YouTube for,
replayed.
an hour.
I know, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
absolutely sorry. I'm replaying Resident Evil 6 co-op with my friend. I just beat the Leon and Helena campaign. I'm now on Chris and Piers. It's been a blast. We've been laughing a lot, making fun of the game. We love. It's just as racist as 5 was, as I remembered that.
Oh,
that was
God.
great.
Yeah, no, 5 was a lot.
Yeah, and 6 is like, hey, instead of it being people, you go into Africa, now you're in China, so you're just killing Chinese people, and you're like, oh god, this is horrible.
Yeah, but-
So you're like, another ethnic group for us to just slaughter. And I was like, Jesus, this is
I'm
terrible.
very glad that Resident Evil has kind of like been sidestepping that shit recently because I mean I love 4, but even 4 had that problem. It's like, oh, we're just killing Spaniards. Okay.
Yep, exactly. And it's like, man, 4, 5, and 6 kind of have that thing, but it's like, I think 4, it's like, it's not nearly as like,
Because it's Spain.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But
I feel
like,
like-
You don't really- well,
Africa
I mean,
was a
I mean-
bad look, and China's not very good either.
Yeah. But my friend and I, we played an entire match where, like, instead of us running around, we flipped over and rolled on our backs, and we had our guns pointed out, and we crab walked the entire level.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds like Resident Evil 6.
So, so we've been goofing around and being stupid, and it's been a lot of fun. We've been making fun of the game and having a lot of good chuckles. So, making a bad game playable. And honestly, that is the only way you play Giraffe Blowjob, is to play with a friend.
Yeah, fucking giraffe blowjob. I forgot that was like the logo for
Dude,
that
when
game.
somebody said that to me, I was like, what? I didn't
totally
know what that
is.
meant. And then suddenly they were like, dude, look at the logo. Look at the 6. It looks like a giraffe getting a blowjob. And I was like,
It
oh,
is.
fuck. And now every time I see it, I can't see it. I can't unsee
Oh,
it.
I have
totally
to look
is. Like
this up now.
100%.
Yeah, look up the Resident for all the
Resident
listeners
Evil
out
6
there.
logo.
Look up the Resident
Or the
Evil
box
6
art.
logo. The 6 looks like a giraffe getting a blowjob.
Yeah, it's something
Yep.
special.
Oh,
It's
That game is a nightmare.
oh no.
That game also sold like
Oh,
the fucked up part about Resident Evil 6 is that game sold really well.
they're all
It
covered
did.
in cummies too.
like in a way that like I just
it's Jeffrey
I
the
just
giraffe.
don't know.
He went after
Yeah, no,
after
he's a
Toys
lot.
R Us closed. He went to the Resident Evil 6 logo to get a blowjob. That's it. It was over for him. That's when his career ended.
I don't want to grow up. I want to be
It's Toys R Us, kids.
I don't want to be an old man anymore. I'm sorry. That's just from
Don't apologize,
Okay.
Joe. Own it.
Never feel sad for who you are.
Oh, I just can't stop looking at it.
And I just started Final Fantasy VII for the first time. Classic game, really fun.
game.
I enjoy it. I'm playing it on PC. I got it gifted to
Yeah,
me on
it's my
Steam.
favorite.
It's fun. I'm enjoying it.
Someday
yeah.
I will finish
I
Final
played like
Fantasy
a couple
VII.
of hours.
Oh god, I'm just gonna wait for the remake.
It's a long game.
I'll start playing Final
I-
Fantasy.
Honestly, I think everybody, if you're gonna play Final Fantasy VII, I almost said Resident Evil 7. Final Fantasy VII, you should play it on Switch probably when that comes out. Like that's,
Yeah, I could see it. I
that's-
played it on PSP back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm sure it's.
I just bought it on my Vita because it was on sale, and then
Oh,
I haven't
yeah,
played
then there
it,
you
but
go.
it's sitting on my Vita.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Final Fantasy VII. It's just like I got to like disc 2 and I was like, I think I'm done
Yeah.
with this because it was an old
I played
video
a ton
game,
of it
even
Yeah.
for like
Back in
2009.
the day, but yeah, I never finished it
Yeah.
because it's long as hell.
I've never.
Old
I've,
video game
It's
is
long
old.
as
I'm
hell,
hoping
and it
to-
is. Yeah, it's old.
I'm hoping to play it and beat it, but I'm playing it very slowly. But it's fun. I'm enjoying it. It's
I
classic.
do love that game. It's like it's got a lot of good atmosphere and a lot of really good unique characters. Even for like that, like even beyond that time, I don't know. It's just got a very diverse cast.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like you don't really get that with like new Final Fantasy games. Like 15 did a pretty good job, I'd say. Even though like on the surface it's like, oh, it's anime boy band where they all wear the same goddamn costume. but like their personalities made up for it. But like I don't know. In Final Fantasy VII, you go from like spiky haired emo boy to like girl with bra to like flower girl to like big guy with machine gun on his hand to a fucking dog.
Yeah.
Like it had a very diverse cast.
Yeah. Although, best character in Final Fantasy 15 is the I have a new recipe, and he'd just shove a Twinkie in your face.
Oh, Ignis?
Yeah.
I love
him.
Ignis. He's like one of my
He was
favorites.
the mom.
And Gladio.
He was the mom and Gladio was the
Ignis. Yeah.
Yeah, they totally were. And then fucking Prompto was
Yeah, Prompto was-
SpongeBob.
Yeah, he was SpongeBob.
Yeah, he was fun. And then, just Fucking, what was
Noctis?
his name? Noctis
Noctis
was
was Sasuke.
Yeah, Noctis was Sasuke and Viren Rex. Or just Zora. His name was Zora. That's it.
Yeah, that's about it for me. Yeah, but Final Fantasy VII fun time. I'm enjoying that. And moving
Good
on.
game.
Nice.
Dab.
Nice. I give it an 8 out of 10.
I'm sorry it took so long. I feel really bad. I feel like an asshole right now.
That's fine.
You're right.
God.
5 out of 10 average.
All right. So I'm still playing Yakuza 0 from last week's episode, which everyone will remember. I
Yeah.
talked about playing Yakuza 0.
Yeah, everyone will remember.
I remember.
Definitely.
I remember you said you played Yakuza
I hope
0,
all the
yeah.
viewers remember too. I mean, it was pretty
Yeah, I'm
important.
talking more about the viewers. I'll remember, I'm sure.
Yeah, if you
last
missed
week.
it,
just
just go back to
browsing
last week's
Premiere.
episode. Just go back to
God.
last week's episode. Check it out.
Are you, like, just doing
not
side
Yakuza
content
0.
right now?
I'm playing Yakuza
yeah.
1, Yakuza Kiwami.
Yeah, because I was about to say, like, you beat Yakuza 0,
Yeah,
guy.
I beat Yakuza 0, and now I'm playing Kiwami, and it is absolutely amazing. I
It's like-
got to the part where Majima starts doing his bullshit.
Which... Okay, so
Like,
specifically,
I got arrested
like...
by Officer Majima. Like,
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Oh my god, that part's
That's
so
awesome.
good.
I went
yes,
to...
I love
All right,
that.
so for anyone who isn't familiar with Yakuza,
Hi.
in Yakuza Kiwami, you're playing as the main character Kiryu, and he just got out of jail after being in there for 10 years. And his friend, Majima, Majima's like,
Yeah, that's
all
a way
right,
to put
I'm gonna
it.
get you back into fighting shape. And Kiryu's like, I don't want to fight you. And he's like, you're gonna fight me. And he's like, no, you have to give me a good reason for us to fight. And Majima's like, oh, I'm gonna give you a reason. So it's like, you'll just be walking, like, just down the street, and he'll be dressed as a police officer, and he'll be like, hey, stop right there. And then
Yep.
he'll frisk you, and he'll be like, I found a weapon.
Yep.
He's like, you know I can't let you walk away.
Yep.
And the Kiryu's just like, God damn it. And then they fight.
I love that stupid bullshit
that's,
so much
And then
because, like,
I did another one that was, I'm just like walking down the street, and this guy's like, hey, want to go to this bar? And I'm like, no. And he's like, please, if you don't go to the bar, I'll lose my job. Then Kiryu's like, all right, fine, I'll go to the bar. So you walk in, you like sit down at the bar, and he's like looking at the menu, and then he looks up, and standing at the bar is Majima as like the bartender, and Kiryu's just like, no, I'm leaving. Majima's like, okay. He's like, wait, just sit down, just let me serve you a drink. And he's like, all right, I'll have one drink. He takes a drink. He's like, oh, it's pretty good. He's like, all right, I'll have another. He gets another drink. And then he's like, all right, that's enough. Like, what do I owe you? And then Majima's like, you owe me 560,000 yen. And he's like, excuse me? He's like,
Fucking
yeah, this
Majima.
is expensive foreign shit. I can't, it's like, Kiryu's like, I can't afford to pay that. And he's like, well, if you can't pay it, then we're going to have to take this outside. So it's just like him coming up with these like absurd excuses to get Kiryu to fight him, and it's amazing.
It's really great.
and also
Is this-
one of the greatest parts of this whole like bit or whatever is this has nothing to do with the main
Nope.
story.
Yeah,
at all.
no, it's
this is literally all side
they're
content that was new to Kiwami.
Completely ancillary content, and it's absolutely incredible.
But also, what's good?
It's like it's absolutely one of the main reasons why I had a hard time getting into Zero because Majima is not that in Zero
Majima-
at all.
I love Majima from Zero. I'm glad I played Zero first because I guess maybe I didn't have the problem that you do. Majima in Zero is really, really good.
He is,
And
he's a
the
good
thing
character.
is, once you like play Zero, he morphs into like Kiwami Majima by the end. Like it's
yeah,
about
because starting with
the game is about how he became that character.
yeah, because like starting out with that is like that's a tall order to go back
Yeah,
because like
in
oh my
Zero,
god, I love him so
At
much.
the beginning of Zero, he's like a very serious man.
Yeah.
and he like runs a casino or
He runs like a fancy
Yeah,
like
what's it called?
bar basically.
yeah.
Oh fuck, I can't remember.
It's called the Grand.
yes, yes.
But it's like a club. It's like a really fancy club. And he's just like he's the manager of the club. He's like a really serious dude. He's a lot more like Kiryu in characterization.
Yeah, they kind of swap the two in Zero, which is interesting. But Kiryu's like also just kind of like a hard ass in
Yeah, he's
Zero.
cool
I don't know.
Kiryu. But
yeah, he's still Kiryu.
but you do get a lot of character development for both of them in Zero to like it gets them to the point where they are in Kiwami. So it's really good. It's worth playing.
Yeah.
I love these games. I'm gonna play through Kiwami, and then I'm gonna play Kiwami 2, and then I'm gonna play all the other ones. And I already bought 6, and it's sitting on my shelf, and I will eventually
Someday.
play it.
It does have a very nice special edition from what you showed
Yeah,
us.
the special edition's really cool.
That's sexy.
Also, what's
special.
nice is that when you also fight Majima in the game, you get like this special upgrade and stuff like that in your skill tree.
Yeah, there's a whole skill
Yeah,
tree for it
so
that
it
was
was-
like not in the original.
Which is really cool. So it kind of enforces you to want to fight him more and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of the best part about it. That it was like, hey, you are enticed with more skills if you fight Majima. So it made me want to find Majima and fight him.
Honestly, like Yakuza Kiwami, I would argue is probably one of the best remakes of like a PS2 era game that like exists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Period.
parts of the game are still like this was a PS2 game,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
for the most part, like in a lot of ways, it does feel modernized. Like it's really really good.
Like being able to save anywhere
Yes.
is
Oh my God.
amazing, and
I-
I cannot fucking believe that Zero doesn't
I was
do
just
that.
about to say, on one hand, I understand contextually, because it's like you save using your phone in Kiwami, so it's like you can only save at phone booths in Zero because it's in the 80s. I get that,
Yeah.
but like it's also
It's
really
just-
inconvenient.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I mean, they're on like every street corner, so it's
Yeah.
not awful, but I mean,
It's a quality of life thing that like
it's outdated.
that
game
also
design
like
is what it
hopping
is.
back. Yeah, exactly. It's just yeah, like I'll go back to Zero someday. I just like it really was one of those things where like, God damn it, why did I play like the mechanically more sound game first? That's annoying.
I'm excited to get like through the series and see how it grows,
Yeah, I
and then
agree.
get to 6, which is supposed to be incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've heard 6 is amazing. I think it got like a perfect score from Famitsu,
I would
Oh,
not
wow.
be
which is
surprised.
like rare.
I was
That's crazy.
But yeah, I'm absolutely in love with Yakuza, and I'm probably going to be talking about it a lot on this podcast as I play it, because that's my like big game right now.
my butt is puckered and ready then.
But I also
Noticing a theme with Ryan today.
I know, sorry.
Yeah, like, just puckered buttholes.
Finger butts, finger popped butts, Brendan Fraser's butt, and
Puckered holes.
puckered holes now.
But yeah, I also started playing Overwatch again, so that's
Nice.
been cool.
Oh yeah.
Um,
It's been a minute
I haven't
since I played
touched Overwatch in a long time.
now that I have like a computer, I was like, I'm gonna try playing Overwatch because I want to play some games, and I
Hell
figured
yeah.
because I know like the biggest difference going from console to like a PC is playing like shooters. So I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
hey, I'll try out a shooter. What's a good shooter? Overwatch.
Yeah.
So I've been playing that with my friends. It's been really cool. I really really like it.
Of course,
I was
yeah.
like, okay.
Overwatch is a great game.
I thought Overwatch was like all right when I played it on the PS4, but I'm like really into it right now. So that's something.
I think Overwatch.
It's honestly the controls
Yeah.
is like a
I think
huge
that
When I-
difference.
I think that's
when I
definitely a
played
big part of
Overwatch
it,
on
'cause
console-
it's like a lot more enjoyable to play.
Yeah, when I played
Yeah.
Overwatch on consoles, when it came out as like the beta, like open beta, I wasn't a fan of it, and I was like, I don't like it. And then I went on to PC, and I was like, this is the way to play it. It's like it's just so much better.
Because, like, Overwatch plays like a normal first-person shooter on PC. Like, you know, if you've played a couple first-person shooters on PC, Overwatch is a very natural shift. Whereas console Overwatch, like, you can map it however you want, which is a nice thing. But the default control scheme is really fucking
Yeah.
foreign for, like, a console shooter. It just does a lot of things that, you know, like let's just call them, like, Call of Duty style shooters.
Yeah.
Because that's, like,
Yeah, because that's
A
where it
pretty-
came from.
yeah, exactly. Where, like, you know, if you were to try to give that game to someone, they definitely have fun. Like, Overwatch is still super popular on PS4 and Xbox and stuff. But, like, it does not play as naturally. Like, you have to, like, really readjust
There's
to the
actually, I
controls.
feel like it plays a little bit slower on console than it did on PC.
Also, yes, it plays
I mean,
way fucking
comparing
slower
a
on console.
mouse, your reaction with a mouse to aim versus controller, it's a little bit different. It's pretty different.
I remember my brother played it on like Xbox, and like I watched him play it a little bit because like he got it as a Christmas gift, and I was just like, why are you guys not killing each other? What the fuck? Why is this taking so long? Because I was used to PC where it's just like up, like things were moving really fast.
So
They say it's
Also, because like
slow.
team shooters are like a thing on PC way before like they were on console.
It's slower in them console games.
them damn consoles are
They
so old.
They take their time.
It's true though. Oh my god, it was like watching molasses drip from the jar.
Damn.
But yeah, Overwatch is good, and the last time I played it, what was the last character? I think like Orisa was the last character that came out.
So when I got the game while it was downloading, I went downstairs to talk to my brother, and I was like, "Oh hey Cody, I've got Overwatch." I was like, "I'm excited for all the new content because the last time I played was when they added the hacker girl," and then he laughed at me.
Yeah, no, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's the same. That was the last time I touched Overwatch.
They have I haven't played with the hamster character.
Yeah, they have the hamster.
I saw the
He's
The
like
hamster,
hamster.
whatever.
I fucking hate the hamster. He's so annoying.
I imagine he's bad.
didn't play him,
He's
but he doesn't look
so
that
annoying.
great.
Isn't his ult basically just like a nuke or some shit?
It's like a bunch of proximity mines.
Ah,
Oh,
yeah,
jeez.
yeah, there we go.
He's like a character that has a fuck ton of health and is hyper mobile. Like,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
jeez.
no, he's just like he's like a broken diva. From
Is
what I
he as
understand.
annoying
Yeah.
as Olaf in Frozen?
I was actually about to make that joke. Because he's just like this game's fuckboy character. I don't know.
Hamster is a fuckboy character.
I'm not about thinking he's a fuckboy.
He's a
I mean,
fuckboy.
it's a furry fuckboy.
It's not even a furry. It's just a hamster. Like it's the
it's just a
actual
hamster.
hamster.
Yo, that hamster fucks.
And then there's the new chick that just came out. I forget
Yeah,
her name.
the-
It's
the
like
cowboy girl.
Arya.
it's Ash.
Yeah. Ash. There we go.
Cowgirl.
She's annoying.
She.
too.
I've heard she's fun.
I haven't played as her. Actually, I played as her once and I died.
Yeah.
But she's annoying to fight against because her ult is really
yeah.
good. And she's a sniper.
Yeah. Isn't it like crazy?
Her ult is she summons a robot, and his name's Bob.
Yes.
And he's really strong.
Yo,
Oh jeez.
Yeah. I remember
So there's a
seeing
lot
that. And she's got like. Does she have a grapple hook? I can't really remember.
I don't think she does.
I know she had like some kind of mobility thing, but that was a while ago. That was like a long time I talked
She-
about this with someone.
She might. I don't know. I played her once, and I died immediately and then changed. So
Yeah. And you said she's like a sniper
she's
character?
a sniper, yeah. She's like a long
Okay,
range.
so she's basically
I
McCree.
still,
Yeah, she's another cowboy.
I still will always
Cowboy
actively
girl.
play
Hell yeah.
as Mercy. That is my go-to still. I'm so
Yeah,
good
Mercy
at
good.
Mercy at this point. It's just ridiculous.
I've
Mine's the
I've
hero
only
we all
been
need.
playing. I've only been playing Diva and Winston, so that's been going well.
Diva's
Diva's
my
great.
second.
Dude, she's so much fun to play.
She
as.
is.
Yeah, I love Diva. She was like one of my favorite characters to play back in the day. Her, Zarya, Soldier. I'm not Soldier.
Soldier. Soldier.
McCree, Lucio. Those
I'm
were all my
shockingly
favorites.
good at Sombra, even though
Ana.
everyone says that they suck at Sombra. I was shockingly
I've never
good.
played as her.
She's just got like you have to. Sombra's one of those characters that like you have to know how she works. There's a reason she's a 3-star
Yes.
difficulty character because like if you don't know how to play her, she's fucking useless. But if you know how to
She's
play
awesome.
her, she literally can
Oh
change
yeah,
the game.
I fuck
like you can be
hard.
doing terrible, but if you have a good Sombra on your team and she pulls clutch, like
Yeah.
it's over. It's done.
It's great. Like I kick so much ass with that character, and everyone's like, "Oh, you play as Sombra? She's such garbage." And I'm like, "I'm really good at her."
No,
And I was like,
those people do not know Overwatch meta.
"Oh
if
yeah,
they say that. I'm
oh
sorry,
yeah,
I'm
no,
just
no,
saying.
because I like totally rip ass with her, and it's great."
You fart with her.
God.
I don't know if that's what you were going for, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I don't
No,
think so.
but you know it follows through with Ryan's canon this episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Also,
That's
ripping
true.
ass is way better. It feels good.
Um,
Feels good when you do it, just like
Wow.
when you get a kill in Overwatch.
Better out than in, I always say.
Somebody
Okay,
once
alright.
told me.
All right.
Moving
I
on,
see, I see.
because this is no
so-
longer about Overwatch.
So, yeah, Overwatch is very good. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm afraid that I'm gonna buy loot boxes. I hope I don't.
Nah.
Um,
No,
I
I've
did
never bought a
that.
loot box.
because the thing is, I started playing yesterday, right? On the
Yeah.
15th.
Yeah,
It's currently the lunar event thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I really want the Winston skin. And it ends in 2 days.
Oh god.
The Winston
Just-
skin is Sun Wukong. Like, it's Goku Winston, and I want it.
Oh god. Well, is it like 1,000 coins?
Yeah, and I have 0. I don't know how many it is, but
Uh.
it is. I can't get it.
I'm trying to remember how you like. I think if you just level up, you should be fine.
Yeah, if you level up, you get the loot boxes. But like,
Yeah.
I went from 1 to 11, and I've gotten nothing good.
Oh, you know what? Okay, I forget that low level Overwatch doesn't pay out as high as high level. When I say like low, like literally like just your level,
Yeah.
not like your
Yeah.
skill thing. But like I'm like a level 116, I think, is the last time I checked. And you know, I was playing regularly, so I got like a lot of the stuff already in general. So I'd get a lot of duplicates.
So you get a lot of
Oh, yeah.
coins.
And yeah, you get a lot of coins. So I just kind of forget that, like, oh, why don't you just buy them? You level up, it'll be fast. And it's like, oh, wait, not when you're level 11. You're just getting everything.
I just get like shitty sprays and like voice lines for Zarya. Like that's all I get.
Yeah.
So that's been my gaming for the last week. It's been pretty cool. I started watching Legion again for the third time on
How
Hulu.
How
Yeah,
is
I've
that
watched.
show? Because I've always wanted to see it.
I
like the first
I've
episode.
watched the first episode 3 times. Once.
Oh my God.
Once when me and Joe watched it when it first aired. Once
Yeah, I
when I
remember
went to
that.
go visit my cousin and she was like, "You need to watch Legion. It's really good." And we watched it together. And then the other night. And I'm really excited to like actually finally fucking watch this show because it's so good. Like
Yeah, that first
I-
episode is awesome.
I recommend all of you guys check out the first episode of Legion because
Okay.
it's the most cinematic TV show I've ever seen.
I've heard.
Like-
I've heard
it's gorgeous.
so
yeah.
much.
I still remember what happened
Yeah.
in the first episode, so I might just jump into episode
Like
2.
it is watching a movie. It's like
Okay.
it's got this just absolutely bizarre look to it. Like the cinematography is pretty crazy. Like,
Yeah, honestly, it could look like an HBO show.
It does. Like it's so good.
Is the
It's so
show
much fun.
on
It's an
FX?
X-Men show. It's on FX.
Yeah, it's on FX.
I'm watching it on Hulu. 'cause
Yeah. It's on
I'm
Hulu.
catching up with it.
Yeah.
But it's so good. It's about Legion, who is for the uninitiated is Professor X's son. They haven't gotten to that part in the TV show where I am yet. The first couple episodes. I know they are supposed to get to it eventually. But Legion's whole thing is that his mutant power is that he has multiple personalities. So he has like a fractured psyche. He's got like dissociative identity disorder or schizophrenia or something. But the thing is, each personality has a different superpower.
wow.
And they're always constantly kind of vying for control over his body. They're all trying to assert themselves as the dominant personality. So like one will have like psychic powers, but one will have fire powers, or it's pretty cool.
Wow.
And in the TV show, the first episode, it's kind of like he's in a psychiatric hospital because he's had these like psychic outbursts in the past, and he hears all these voices and everything. So it's no one believes him that he has superpowers. They just think he's crazy. So he's like in the psychiatric hospital, and he's like drugged to hell. And it's kind of the story. The first episode is the story of how he gets out. And it's kind of insane because I mean, I guess that's the idea, is it's insane because he's an insane character.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Yeah, no, it is.
I don't want to like talk too much about it, but it's kind of crazy. It's really, really fun. The characters are so weird, and I love them. Like there's a you were talking I think it was about Umbrella Academy where there's like a dance scene.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a whole dance segment in the first episode of Legion, and it's really weird.
I kind of remember that.
Because it just happens. It's a dream sequence, but it's just like it's a really good show. It's also really kind of creepy because it's got he has this one personality called the Devil with Yellow Eyes or something, I think is what it's called, and he'll like
I think so.
flash in the background of the scene, and it'll make this like really like dissonant sound where it just goes like "Brr," whenever he shows up, and it's really good. And he's kind of just like haunting in the background all the time, where it's like you'll forget that he's there until he shows up. It's really cool.
I'm into this.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
Corey, I think you particularly would like this show.
I think you had it when you started describing it as like cinematic. So.
Yeah, it's if you watch it, you'll be like, wow, this is not like what a TV show looks like.
Right. Yeah.
It's really cool. I recommend it.
It almost looks like it was shot on like an Ari or some shit like that.
Could have been.
Yeah, like I like that show, and I'm excited to watch more.
Okay, wait, maybe not an Ari. It actually looks more like a Red show, not an Ari, because an Ari's like got a very filmic look, whereas Red is like digital film.
Yeah.
It definitely looks more like the latter more than the former, I would say.
And also, speaking of Marvel TV shows on Hulu, there was recently some very important news. So the blanket news is that Marvel is doing a series of animated TV shows on Hulu called The Offenders. And it's like the Avengers, but they're shitty, pretty much is the idea.
Uh-huh.
And it's like adult cartoons. And one of them is going to be like MODOK. One of them is Tigra and Dazzler. They're all like shitty stuff like that no one cares about. But also, one of them is a Howard the Duck cartoon by Kevin Smith.
I heard about that.
Directed by Kevin Smith.
That.
And it's gonna be fucking incredible. I'm so excited because it's like Marvel asked me what I want to see in a TV show.
Yeah.
And then they made it.
Yeah.
Because this is like the perfect thing that I'm so excited.
I think out of
Hey,
all
guys,
the people that's going to take up that project, Kevin Smith is the best choice they made.
He'll do it justice.
I love...
Hey guys,
What's up?
that's my birthday.
Oh shit!
Oh, right
now.
Nice.
I just turned midnight.
Hey!
Oh my god!
Happy birthday, Joe.
A happy birthday,
23.
Joe.
You did it.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Do you feel any different?
did.
Did
It's
you
happening.
go through puberty again?
Do you feel more 23?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I'm a god now.
He's,
Oh,
oh,
shit.
shit.
Dude, are your eyes
That's what
gotta
happens
take
when you
it-
go through puberty
You
twice.
gotta head... he's gonna grow a second penis. That's how it works.
Watch out for Brendan Fraser's ass.
Yeah, he's Brendan Fraser.
He's coming to clap them cheeks.
Oh, God.
Oh my god. Are we really on this
I'm sorry.
again? Fucking bit canceled.
Ryan's canon.
Man in a can. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Joe's birthday's been canceled. Happy birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Yeah,
we
happy
love you.
birthday.
Now back to Harry's list.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to Harry.
So yeah, Howard the Duck, I love him. I'm excited. Kevin Smith, I love him too. I'm excited.
Do you?
Offenders is gonna be.
Oh,
Although,
yeah.
do you think that they should bring back Howard the Duck from the original movie, the live-action movie? They
Yeah,
could
they
bring.
should make a sequel.
They should just bring back the same voice actor too.
They should do the entire movie again.
Is he alive?
I just need the duck tits again.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I can
Corey,
live without that.
I guarantee this TV show is gonna
Yeah,
have
I
it.
with
just-
Kevin Smith. Definitely.
I just want Leah Thompson to come back to be like super thirsty for Howard.
Oh, Howie.
Oh god.
When she
God.
just picks up the duck condom.
Oh no. Come on. No.
It's a really good movie, Joe.
It's a great
Alright?
movie, yeah.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
A cult
It's
classic.
up there.
I still haven't
it's up
seen
there
it.
above Death Note.
Someday, Joe, you have to watch it. You'll understand.
Someday
the
I'll
majesty-
watch it.
You'll
I know.
understand the majesty of like a 25-minute plane scene.
It's so good.
God damn.
Fucking 25-minute long plane crash.
I still cannot fucking believe this is a PG movie.
It's like an.
So good.
How are
It was before PG-13 was a thing.
Yeah, but this movie has duck tits
I know.
and
I mean-
a condom. I feel like this is more than a
Well,
PG
back in the
movie
80s,
in
you know.
2019.
86.
I know.
Yeah, condoms were everywhere.
But
In
I
the
mean,
80s.
it was an hour. I thought honestly, you were saying it's a 25-minute plane crash. I thought it was an hour 51-minute plane crash.
Damn.
Oh, and also I like that the
Yeah.
director's last name is Hyuk.
Wow.
Hyuck.
duck.
It's Hyuk.
Hyuk.
Willard Hyuk. He made Howard the Duck. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Sorry about that.
Goddamn.
Anyways,
So also, comic stuff.
Comic stuff.
I'm all caught up with the new Conan comics, and holy shit, they are so good. Like,
I gotta get caught up. I love the first issue.
the main Conan series is cool because it feels really old school in that it's like every single issue is its own self-contained story. They all just kind of take place during random periods of Conan's life, and there is a thread kind of going through all of them that'll kind of tie up later. But for the most part, they're all their own story, and they get fucking crazy. The most recent issue, issue 3, it starts with Conan being he's arrested because he tried stealing gold or something or whatever. But the thing is, this town is really fucked up. They're like a mining town with like absolutely nothing, so they worship the gallows, like literally. It's there's a tree that they hang people on, and then right before the person dies, they cut the rope and they fall down a hill and get eaten by dogs.
God
and that's
damn.
like what they worship.
that's
So
awesome.
Conan is about to get hung, and he's like, he's hanging, and it's like Conan is this massive fucking man. Also, in this story, he's 17 years old, and he's still fucking gigantic.
God damn.
And it's like they build it up so it's like the rope's about to snap, so you know what's going to happen. But instead of the rope snapping, the entire tree gives way, and the branch falls down because Conan's too big. And they're like, you broke the tree, and they're all upset. And Conan's like, yeah, I fucking broke the tree. But since his arms are tied up, he can't fight them with them. So he just starts swinging his neck, and the tree is flying around and beating up people.
Jesus.
It's so fucking good. There's like a part where
Oh my god.
Conan just like knocks down an entire tree just by like he like pushes it with his chest, and the whole tree falls down. Like, I love it because it's just so like Conan is the biggest, like strongest motherfucker in the world, and that's just what these stories are. Like, and they're a blast. They're just so much fun to read.
Apparently Arnold Schwarzenegger really loved it too, and he made a Facebook video saying that he liked it, and that they're insinuating they're going to make a Conan movie now.
He's been talking about King Conan for years, and I want that movie to happen.
I hope that
be
because of the
incredible.
Conan Marvel comic series that does become a thing. I hope that actually kind of
would love
helps
it.
perpetuate that, because that would be awesome. I mean,
A King Conan movie would be really cool.
yeah. And honestly, I've heard a
cool.
lot of great things about the Conan comic too. I've heard nothing but amazing things.
Totally recommend it. It's so much fun. There's also a companion series, The Savage Sword of Conan. The first issue of that just came out last week. It was really good. It's a different writer, different creative team. But it was really good. The Conan books have been great. And it doesn't stop there, because Marvel just announced the other day that they're doing a new Avengers book called The Savage Avengers, and it's going to have Conan.
Yep. I
he's an
did see
official
that. I
Avenger
did see
now.
that.
Oh my gosh.
And the team, the gimmick behind the team is that they're the Savage Avengers. It's Conan the Barbarian, Wolverine, the Punisher, Venom, Elektra, and Brother Voodoo. So it's like all of these really fucked up heroes, and they're all just gonna be. It's gonna be brutal, and I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really
And it's
excited.
also by Duggan and
Yes,
Didio, right?
yeah, Jerry Duggan is writing.
Deodato.
He also writes the Savage Sword of Conan. So he's on 2 Conan books, which is pretty cool. And yeah, Mike Deodato is doing the art, which is pretty awesome. It's got David Finch on covers.
Yeah, it's been a minute since Deodato's been on like Avengers art.
Yeah, he was in. I don't know when.
He was on Hickman's Avengers.
Yeah, he was somewhere in Hickman's Avengers. I remember, as far as like Deodato and Avengers, I associate him with Dark Avengers, back during the Dark Reign.
Yes, same.
So this feels in that vein because it's like the fucked up Avengers. So I'm really excited. I'm excited for like the character interactions between like Conan is gonna meet the Punisher, like.
That's a
like,
look.
You know, like Barbarian with his big sword versus just a guy with a gun, and also Venom's there. Like, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. Venom is also an Avenger, but I feel like that's been a thing before, right?
Yeah, he's been an Avenger. Not this incarnation of Venom. Like the Eddie Brock has never been an Avenger.
Yeah.
But Flash Thompson was an Avenger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm crazy excited. Conan's been amazing, and Savage Avengers looks fucking rad. And I finally finished reading Ed Brubaker's Captain America series, which is...
You've been on that for like the past year,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I've been reading it for a while. And it's like over 100 issues long, and I finally finished it. And that series...
Oh shit, is it actually over 100 issues? I did not know that.
Yeah, it's long.
Oh wow.
The series is really good for the most part. Like everything,
Yes.
like Winter Soldier obviously is fucking cool.
Oh, classic.
Everything like, you know, up to Cap's death and then Bucky taking over, that stuff's all awesome. The end of the series was not great, I felt.
Oh no.
Because it was like, I think it felt like Brubaker ran out of steam once Steve came back.
Yeah.
And it was like a 19-issue run after Steve became Cap again. And it just kind of...
And then
it felt kind of aimless. Like, it had a story, but the story didn't feel as big as it had previously.
Yeah.
Because you had all this, crazy stuff before that with, like, dumb time travel shit. And, like, like it was like, you know, it's Bucky came back, and then he was the Winter Soldier, and, like, they had Civil War, and then, you know, Bucky became Captain America, and it was awesome. And it turns out that Captain America was shot by his girlfriend, who was hypnotized, and she shot him with a time bullet. So she sent his mind back to World War II so that the Red Skull could take over his body in the present. Like, it had all this crazy bullshit.
Jeez.
And then the most recent story was just kind of like...
Yeah.
The last issue was really good, though. The last issue was really great. It was about the 50s Captain America. Who,
oh, that's cool.
Because, like, after Cap got frozen, he was frozen before the war ended. And so the government, like the American government, was like, well, it's going to fucking murder morale if everyone knows the Cap's dead. So they had a new Cap come on, and that guy, like a new Captain America and a new Bucky, they just pretended to be like Steve and Bucky. But they had like a really fucked up version of the Super Soldier Serum. So they went insane. So they were bad guys.
Oh, jeez.
And then this issue was like 50s Cap was in like a coma because he got hit by a truck. And he was like, Cap's like, it's all right. Like, you don't have to be Captain America anymore. We're setting you up with like this witness protection thing so you can go and restart your life. And they were like trying to like put him through therapy so he wasn't so fucked up anymore. It was a really good issue. So like the very last issue was great, but like the end, the last arc wasn't amazing. But overall, I recommend the series. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've enjoyed Brubaker's Captain America series before too. I read up through Captain America's death. I didn't get to read the Bucky being Captain America at that point yet, but
Bucky Cap is really good.
Yeah, no, yeah. I heard a lot of good things about that, and I've always wanted to read it. So I'll probably jump back into it just to read Bucky Cap. But I loved everything before that too. So yeah, I do agree. I think it's definitely one of Brubaker's like titular like runs though.
Yeah.
Is his Captain America series.
It's really good. It's like a spy espionage thriller kind of story.
Yeah, that's a good way of it. That's a really good way of putting it.
It's got a lot of Shield stuff, like Nick Fury's there, like OG Nick Fury, like Maria Hill, all those guys, Black Widow. It's really good.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
It's great.
And so that's all. That's been my. Oh, actually, I have one more like backlog reading. I've been reading a lot of like '90s X-Men, and I just read.
Oh yeah.
I just read this crossover between X-Men and Ghost Rider, and it was really good.
Oh.
It's like a really dumb '90s kind of crossover. It's like the X-Men go to New Orleans because Gambit's family is in like. So Gambit's family is the Thieves Guild of New Orleans, and Gambit was married in like an arranged marriage to this woman who was in the Assassins Guild of New Orleans. But he left, and then there was like a clan war going on, so they came back. And it turns out that it wasn't a clan war; it was aliens. Because the Brood.
That sounds very Ghost Rider.
The Brood landed in New Orleans. They were trying to, because the Brood are pretty much just like the movie Alien. Like they look like the Xenomorph from Alien. They infect people and they transform them into Brood. So they were transforming the Thieves Guild and the Assassins Guild into Brood because they were trained to be weapons, so they would make perfect Brood. And then Ghost Rider's there because fuck it, why not? And then Ghost Rider.
I mean, it's the 90s.
Ghost Rider gets turned into a Brood.
That's an image. That is an image.
The X-Men are fighting Ghost Rider, who's turned into a giant alien bug. And then
God.
Goodness.
somehow they managed to turn him back into Ghost Rider. And it's really funny because it's like they turn into like alien bugs, but he's like still Ghost Rider while he's alien bugs, so he's like got a leather jacket on and he's like a giant skeleton. It's really good. And then they fight the Queen Brood. And the fight's really weird because it's like they fight her for like a second and then Ghost Rider shows up and he rips her skin off.
Oh.
And it's like the fight's over. Brood Queen is dead. And then, like, she jumps back up with no skin, and she starts fighting him again. It's really good. Everyone has a really shitty Creole accent. It's great. There's a lot of characters that are hard to, like, it's hard to understand what they're saying. It was really good, and now I want to read 90s Ghost Rider.
Hell yeah, man.
But yeah, that's all my catch-up reading that I've been doing. And there's... This can be like a bit of a joint segment because I know Joe has read a lot of the same books that I did this week for like new releases. I'm only gonna say like I'm not gonna go through everything. I'm just gonna say like my pick of the week this week was Thor number 10. It was
Thor 10 was awesome.
It was not the issue I expected, but holy shit, it was so good. The cover.
No, I mean like
the cover of Thor 10 is like Thor and Odin sitting on the Rainbow Bridge drinking some mead, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a nice little father-son issue. It was not. It was not. It was.
That's funny.
It was like. It was the whole issue was about Odin, and it's about like the narration is his inner monologue, and it's really fucking sad because it's like.
Yeah, no,
Odin,
it's fucked up.
Odin like is a really really shitty father. Like he's just awful. But then it's like once you get into his head, it's like he doesn't want to be like that, but he can't help but be like that.
Yeah.
And it's like he gets in this big fight with Thor, and he's like, it's like as he's fighting, he's saying all this really shitty stuff to his son. His inner monologue's like, wait, why am I saying this? Like, why can't I just like swallow my pride and just tell my son I'm sorry and like repair our relationship?
Yeah.
But it like ends with like Thor beating the shit out of like this drunk, angry Odin. And Odin's like, the only good thing I ever gave my son was like I taught him how to not be like me, and it's like, oh, this is really fucked up and sad.
Yeah, no, it was a very powerful issue. Like
it was so good.
And like, I have a lot of mixed feelings about the choice of Mike Del Mundo on interiors because I think he makes great covers.
Yeah, definitely.
But I just did not love his. He's not like McGinnis, where like. It doesn't feel like it flows at all. Like his art does flow. I just don't love his art, his look for an interior. But this issue was gorgeous.
Yeah. I feel like
there's something about it.
There's a lot of times where I'm like, this doesn't. I love Mike Del Mundo's artwork.
Yeah, I do too.
But he's like a weird case where, like you said, sometimes he just doesn't really work for interiors. Like when he was on Avengers a couple years ago, it wasn't great. But
no, yeah, it's just not. It's like messy, kind of. I don't know.
His Thor has, I feel like it's gotten like better, and it culminated in this issue because that whole, just the whole Odin and Thor like fight sequence was just fucking awesome, and it was beautiful. It was a really good issue.
And
yeah, no, it's like you definitely saw improvements with like just his panel composition and like his look overall. It just he's definitely starting to warm up on me with interiors.
And there was one really funny moment in the issue too, where Odin like kind of, after all this shit went down, he's like, all right, I need to maybe start trying to get better. So he's like talking to Iron Man because Iron Man is an alcoholic.
Yes.
And he's like,
Yeah.
So it's like he's like Iron Man's like, all right, this is a lot to unpack, so I guess like maybe tell me where it all like started. And Odin just goes, I invented mead.
And then Iron Man just goes, oh, this is gonna take a while. Yeah, no, that was an amazing part. I think that was like the last page.
Yeah, that was at the very end.
and also.
Yeah,
it
no,
also
was
just
a great
goes to show
issue.
that Jason Aaron is still like the king of Thor, like writing it. Thor,
Yes.
he's so good at it. Like his Thor run has been absolutely
amazing.
insane.
Yeah, it's stellar. I'm very excited for the War of the Realms coming up.
Yeah, it's got
That's gonna
what
be
2
crazy.
months away.
Yeah, it's very soon.
Yeah, it's coming up.
It's gonna be lit. Joe, what was your pick of the week? Was it Thor or was it something else?
God, like honestly, I was torn between Detective Comics and No Road Home this week.
Yeah, No Road Home was
Thor
my...
was really good, but like, holy shit, man.
No Road Home was my honorable mention. It was my runner-up for pick of the week. That was Avengers No Road Home is this new 10-issue miniseries that they're printing. It's a sequel to last year's Avengers No Surrender, which was awesome.
Oh, so good. It's like honestly one of the best Avengers stories that has happened in a long time.
Yeah. So No Road Home's a sequel to that. And the first issue was kind of just getting the team together and setting up the premise for the story. But I was.
It's a good roster,
though. It's a very good roster, and I was really digging a lot of the like interactions.
Yeah, I was too. With Hercules and Rocket,
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Hercules was like, "Why is there a dog with a gun?"
Yes, no, it's
Rocket's just like, "What did you just fucking call me?"
It very much reminded me of a moment in One Punch Man where there's like this little girl character with like curly hair, and then like it switches, like she's just kind of like a sassy, like kind of mean girl, and then like they switch to like the shitty drawn part of the show, and like Saitama just like points at her and asks, "Who is this sassy lost child?" And like that reminded me a lot of the interaction.
Yeah, that's Hercules and Rocket.
Yeah, it's so good.
Because I feel like they're gonna be good, and I loved Hulk was so good in it.
Oh, he was I'm ready to read another book with Hulk like
the
this.
whole bit with
I'm so
Hulk
ready.
and Hawkeye, because Hawkeye killed the Hulk.
Oh yes,
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, in Civil War II.
It was like part of an assisted suicide thing. It was really dumb. Where Bruce Banner was like, "If I ever turn into the Hulk again, shoot me." So he did.
Yeah.
But now Hulk is back, and it was Bruce Banner that had Hawkeye kill him. But now he's the Hulk, and Hulk was like, "I remember what you fucking did." And so like Hulk is on this team already, and they're recruiting, and Hawkeye's like, "Hey guys, I'm ready to go along on the adventure." And then Hulk's like, "Hey, if you go with us, I'm gonna fucking kill you the first chance I get." So like,
Yeah, dude, like we can see Al Ewing writing that dialogue because it's perfect. It's exactly like how Hulk is an immortal.
It's the current version of the Hulk is really good because the Hulk is intelligent, like this Hulk, and he's very sarcastic and witty, and he's very good.
He's very
sounds like a lot of
aggressive.
fun.
He's very aggressive. He is the Hulk.
Yeah, he is the Hulk. So like it's all that shit on top of being witty.
And Joe, if you want to talk about Detective.
Oh god, Detective this week was so good. I've been like, this is like an interesting like series to read because like I would definitely say this reads more like I don't know about a like one for one traditional Batman book, but like it has a lot of interiority,
Yeah.
which we haven't had in Batman for like a while. Like both in Detective with Tinian and with regular Batman with King. Like we just haven't had that. So to have the interiority has been like super fucking nice.
It feels a
And-
lot more like an older Batman story, and I'm really loving that.
Yeah, and like they fucking brought out. It's on the cover, so it's not really a spoiler. They brought out the fucking hell suit, and it's like,
Yeah.
yo, this is gonna get so
Like,
crazy.
it had Etrigan, it had the Hellbat, and he fought a demon. Like, and the demon.
Oh my god, like it was so good.
The concept behind the demon was cool too. It was like Batman fought the demon, and then afterwards he was like, "Oh, that was kind of weird. Like, I felt something of myself in that demon." And then
Yeah,
Jason Blood is like, "Yeah, that demon was formed by all like the fear and hatred that you caused in this city. Like, it was a being born of you."
Oh, jeez.
So that was pretty
yeah,
cool.
it was crazy. Like, oh, I'm so excited
And then-
excited for Tomasi's
Yeah,
run.
that ending where it was like, "What the fuck is happening? Everything's a simulation or something." Like,
Yes, yes.
I'm very excited.
Oh, it's so good.
And that weird little kid in the Batman suit.
Oh fuck, that's right. The very last page. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see where this story
Yeah,
goes.
the story has been like batshit insane. I have no idea where
And,
it's going, and I love that.
I forget the artist's name, but he did some stuff on Superman,
yes,
right?
Doug
With Tomasi.
Monkey. If I'm probably butchering his name, it's Mahnke. Monkey.
Yeah,
But
'Cause,
he's
like,
fantastic. I love him.
I thought it's like because I thought it was a weird choice on action because it's like very sketchy and like gritty art, which I don't think works for Superman, but for Batman it's
Yeah, he
perfect.
is.
Like this book looks so
He
good.
is perfect on Batman. Like, I absolutely agree. This is because like Detective wasn't bad before this. Like
No, it
Tinian's
wasn't.
run was
It
fantastic.
had good moments. Yeah, totally.
Jameson's run was really, James Robinson, not Jameson.
Robinson's run.
Robinson's run was
Jameson's.
really good. The
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
the Outsiders story kind of sucked, but
yeah.
this is really good,
This is
Yeah.
real Batman. Like I feel like
and we're gearing up to 1,000. That's gonna be
yes,
awesome.
it's gonna be awesome. I'm definitely going to that midnight
Hell yeah,
launch.
we definitely.
Like I don't
Yeah,
even give a
going
shit.
to.
Isn't there? This is 998, right? Or
Yep,
okay.
Yeah, this was 998.
Yeah, so
that just came
only
out.
this will be
2 issues.
2 issues, and we're at 1,000.
2 more issues.
Action Comics already hit
Which is
1,000,
crazy.
right? Or no, not yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
Oh yeah, it did. That was
Yeah,
that was
okay.
last year. Actually, like ironically enough, a year ago.
Wow.
But yeah, no, Action
1,000
and
comics, jeez.
Action 1000 was really great, and then like Detective 1000 is going to be crazy too because it's Batman. Like, come on,
It's gonna be
They're-
so cool.
they're gonna
Oh,
pull
yeah.
out all
It's
the
gonna have
stops.
the first canon appearance of the Arkham Knight.
Which like again, wild.
I'm interested in seeing where they go with that because like it's not going to be Jason like it was in the game. Spoilers, sorry.
No.
For anyone who hasn't played Arkham
No.
Knight yet and cares.
Yeah, I mean,
It's Jason Todd.
yeah.
Yeah, if you
'cause
haven't
it's
played that
Arkham
game
Knight,
since like 2015,
Arkham Knight pretty much just adapts the Red Hood story, except instead of the twist
Yeah.
is that instead of the Red Hood, he's Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
But obviously, Jason's already a thing, and the Red Hood's already a thing. So Arkham Knight's probably going to be someone different. So I'm excited to see
I agree. Yeah,
where that goes. and who's
that'll
that
probably
gonna
be like a mystery for Tomasi's run, where it's like, who is the Dark Knight?
Yeah, I would be into that. I'm excited.
And then I do want to give an honorable mention to Flash this week because that was actually much
yeah,
better than I
I'm
thought.
really
it would
digging
be.
this crossover.
Because like the way Williamson wrote Bruce was like really really good, and just their dynamic was awesome. I
I love
into
the
it.
like dual like monologues where you get their like thought panels,
both their
and
interiority.
it was like them both like kind of being like because it's a this story is kind of taking place in the aftermath of Wally West, the
Heroes in Crisis. Yeah.
his death. Which he was the original Kid Flash. He was Flash's sidekick, and he just died. And he died because he was in Batman's Sanctuary, which is like it's therapy for superheroes. And so Flash blames Batman, and Batman blames himself. And they're both they have to work together on this case. And it's like really awkward because they're both trying to kind of
like
get along with it, but
thing.
it's like it's been bubbling kind of underneath, where there's all this tension kind of building over, Wally's death and how no one's happy.
Yeah, no one's happy about it. Everyone's sad. I hope Wally comes back. God damn it, at the end of Heroes in Crisis. Like, it's so annoying that we had all this time to develop him and like, hey guys, he's back. Oh no,
they
he's
bring
dead.
back after Wally disappeared with the New 52. So 5 years, no Wally. They bring him back, and it's a big deal. It's the big deal. Like, that's a big part of Rebirth.
That's what people
and
remember.
then they kill him 2 years later. They kill him
Thanks, guys.
2 years later off panel.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't even think
like
that's
some
like
shock schlock.
I really hope that's not King's decision, and I hope that was like editorial at DC being like, one of these characters has to die.
Yeah, whoever decided it is stupid, and I hope the story gets better. But yeah, so
I do
comics
too,
this week
honestly.
have been very good.
Yeah, comics this week are very good. It took me a while to read them just because of like stuff, but like I did finally read them, finish them like yesterday. God, I don't know, but like this week was very good, and I am also reading. I haven't really watched any anime still because like time, but oh wait, you know what? Are you done with your segment,
I'm done with
Harry?
mine. Yeah, we can do.
Okay.
I'm saving the direct stuff for when you get to yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I do have a lot of things to say about the direct.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, moving on to me. Hi, hello.
Hey, it's Joe.
So I actually have, because of my job, I have actually been watching a decent amount of television recently,
Nice.
like because of work and stuff like that. I won't say why, but like let's just say research. But one show I've been watching, it's on Netflix. It's a documentary series that my company produced. Well, it's not mine, but the company I work for, called Rotten. And it's about the very shady business practices in like the food industry.
Yeah.
And like we're talking beyond just like health concerns, because that definitely comes up. But we're talking like honey is kind of like going through some sort of like cartel gangster shit in like China, where it's just a whole mess of like tax evasions, and it's not actually honey for the most part. It's like 60% a different substance all the time. And it's just like, whoa, dude. There's a lot of stuff in it that's like just or like, here's a good example of what I learned through this documentary so far. One of the episodes was on allergies, just like everyone has them. The funny thing is like, we're all in our 20s. We were all born in the 90s. So like having a kid having a nut allergy, a shellfish allergy, and like, I don't know, a strawberry allergy, that's all pretty normal to us. Like, that's not something that we blink twice at. We're just like, oh, I just won't eat peanut butter.
Yeah,
near
no.
you. All right, cool. Or I won't cross-contaminate. But, like, that wasn't a thing when our parents were alive. And I confirmed this with my parents, too. They were like, yeah, no, allergies are, like, way more rampant these days. Like, in terms of, like, just how many kids have them and, like, the variety. Because it's like a growing list of, like, stuff that kids just cannot eat these days for one reason or another.
I did not know that.
And, yeah, no, it's like a fairly recent development, and it's fucking wild. I think they're starting to, like, understand the science behind it, though. It's, like, just some sort of, like, weird gene that got, like, passed down, and it's, like, the body is dumb.
Yeah.
So, that stuff will happen from time to time. And from the conclusion of the episode, basically the conclusion is, if you're allergic to peanut butter or peanuts, you kind of just have to, like, muscle through that. It's like a therapy type deal, or like a physical therapy type deal. And that's been really fascinating so far. I'm almost done with the show. It's only like 6 episodes long. But it's been very good. And I've also been watching a bunch of Parts Unknown with Anthony Bourdain, because our company, when Anthony Bourdain was alive, we made a lot of shows with him, like a lot of really good stuff too. Where he's like a chef, but like Parts Unknown is really more like a travel documentary, where they obviously talk about food and stuff like that, but like he did an episode on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and they do talk about food in that a little bit, but it was really more just like a showcase documentary of what the fuck Lower East Side was like, and oh my god, it's fucking wild, because they featured about this one guy. His name is like Flanagan. I don't really remember. It's like Andy Flanagan or something like that. And he was a kid. He was like 14 when he grew up in Lower East Side of Manhattan. And he was talking about this one memory where he was in bed with his dog so that he could fight off the rats. Like, actually, that's what happened. And right outside of his window, he was like, there was this like gang, because it was like a gang neighborhood, that were like right outside his window, and they were shouting shit like, "The next motherfucker that comes outside is dead." Like, I don't really remember the context for why, but he mentioned that, and he was like just laying in bed, and he was like, I really got to get to school today. I don't really want to deal with that. And I was just like, wow, holy shit, New York was wild in the 70s.
Jeez.
But that show's been really fucking good. I would love to watch more of it, but it's like, the way you watch it on Netflix is weird.
Oh?
Oh, did anyone want to say something?
What I love about Anthony Bourdain is he always brings in things that aren't exactly food into his shows about food. He makes it more than that. Yeah. It's
like you really learn about the culture of like the subject that he's talking about.
Yeah, because food's about people eating together, and you tell stories when you're eating together.
And God, he's like a fucking really good storyteller.
He's fantastic.
He's funny as hell too. He's like, like, it is a shame what happened to him. Like, goddamn, rest his soul.
What happened to him?
But
obviously he died.
He killed himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They were filming. I think they were actually. I don't know if they were making another show.
They were making another
or
season.
If he was just in France.
Another season of Parts Unknown.
Of Parts Unknown. Oh shit! Yeah, and then he hung himself in Paris. Yeah, no, it's really fucking sad. Cause like I know he battled drugs for like a lot of his life. Like literally in the Lower East Side episode, he was like, cause he grew up in Manhattan when he was a kid. I think for at least a little bit. But he was like. They were going over a part where like they were going over LSD packaging art and stuff like that, and he was like, "Oh my fucking god, I remember all these." And it's like, "Oh man, that's problematic." That like he's fondly looking back on fucking acid packaging, and he wasn't being joking or ironic about it. He was like genuinely like, "I fucking remember that one and that one. Oh man, good times."
Jeez.
And it's just like, Jesus, man. And then I think we talked about this when Ryan was talking about Umbrella Academy, but that's a show I plan to watch like when I have time.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I want to check that out now after hearing Ryan talk about it.
Yeah, and I love the book, like the books. So it's definitely like, it looks like a really good adaptation or just like a reimagining of the series. So I definitely want to like check that out. And it's just like, it has a new Gerard Way song, so that's pretty dope.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which, this is also kind of a fun fact. Speaking of Gerard Way, he was supposed to make a second studio album, like a second solo album, like ages ago. And that never happened. But there is something remnant of that project, and that is the name. Because that studio album was supposed to be called Young Animal. Yep.
It survived.
Wow. It survived in a way I really wish it didn't. And then died. Because, like, Hotel Alien's an awesome album. Like, I would love to hear more of his, like, solo work. And it's a shame that, like, I guess he's just too busy right now, which is understandable. He's an executive producer on a TV show, and I guess still technically, like, a head creative of Young Animal, even though it's, like, basically
Young Animal
dead.
is folded. It's over.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
done.
Rest in peace.
So, yeah, I guess he's just busy with,
just Umbrella Academy.
It's just Umbrella
Yeah.
Academy, yeah.
Between the show and also probably the comic, because I think, is Hotel Oblivion still being publicated right now?
Yeah, it's still being published, but, like, if it's being published now, I assume that the script is, like, finished, and now it's just kind of, like, the artist taking care of it. If I had to take a guess, I don't know. Like, Hotel Oblivion has been delayed for so
Yes.
long, and he's been talking about it for so long that just, like...
There was a worry it wasn't even going to come out. Like, I was scared that it was just never going to happen. It was just going to be like, well, it just ends with Dallas,
It's
and
just-
that was it.
Yeah, which would have been a shame, because Dallas is a really good story, but that is not how I wanted that series to
Yeah,
like,
I
finish.
agree. It wouldn't be the best way to end it. So I'm kind of glad that at least...
I don't know if they have plans to continue after Hotel Oblivion. I guess we'll just have to see
I
till
guess,
it
yeah.
finishes. But it's Umbrella Academy is very good.
Gotcha.
And then speaking of other things that aren't television or movies, video games. Hell yeah.
That was a really good. I love that.
Yeah, it was a
segue.
great segue.
Before I talk about the direct stuff, because that's going to be a
Yeah,
whole
that-
deal, I just want
that
to
could be
quickly
like our last
get out of
one.
the...
Yeah.
Get the questions and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell was it? I did finish Resident Evil 2, at least the Leon story, or side A that I did, and that was a fucking good game. Oh my god! Like, for a game that I wasn't even sure I was gonna get on launch day or anything like that, I really loved Resident Evil 2 remake. Cause like I don't want to say too much about what happens in like let's just say what happens after you like get through the goddess tower or whatever, like past that point, because that gets into like some pretty spoilery territory and stuff like that. But oh man, that like final boss fight is incredible. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, I
And-
really want to play Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, no, it's a phenomenal
I
game.
definitely plan on playing it. I can't right now because I've been really busy and I have other games.
Yeah.
But I guess once I have some like a free period with no games and nothing, I'm definitely gonna pick it up because it looks so good. And I've been hearing so much great stuff about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the best remake to come out in a really, really long time.
So
And like a complete remake.
like ground up.
a traditional one. Because like, oh my god, there's so many good aspects and ideas. Because like, I actually have never played OG Resident Evil 2. So like, I went to look back and see a comparison, and holy cow, this game is such a different experience. Like it is a remake and it is faithful to the spirit of the original Resident Evil 2, but it is also a very different game.
I heard
like
something cool that the game does is if you've played the original, you kind of have
Yeah.
an idea of how events will play out, and then you play this game and they'll play out a little differently. So like, like characters will appear at a different point, or a certain
yes.
so like when you play through it the first time, that's how it happens. But then if you keep playing through the game on subsequent playthroughs, it might be the original, like how the events played out from the original game.
Yeah, I'm on side B right now, and that's basically how it's going so far from like what I've been able to like gather. 'Cause like if you play, there's side A and side B, or in this game they call it second story. But in the original PS2, not the PS2, the PS1 version of the game, I think like you were saying that like the second playthrough, if you play like, I think in the original you could do it was only Leon and then Claire. Like that's the order that you played, because that's just how they literally printed the disc. But in this remake, you can choose to play Claire first or Leon, and then you get the option to play that second story as the other character. So because I played Leon first, that second story is Claire. But if I played Claire first, then that second story would be Leon, and it would be like a different thing. It would be different from like the side A playthrough of Leon that I did, which is interesting. And yeah, they do actually change the order of like events and how things play out compared to the PS1 game. I won't say specifically because like what isn't a spoiler in the PS1 game is a spoiler in the remake, which is a weird thing to say, but like you know, that's just how it is in this one. But like I really dug how they did it in the remake, because like I remember seeing clips of Resident Evil 2 and like seeing moments, and it's like, oh, is that how they're doing it in this one? That's cool.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to picking it up someday, because the game looks awesome.
Goddamn, the liquors are terrifying. I have a friend that is... Because I don't really think this is a spoiler at this point, because he's just like fucking everywhere, but like Mr. X is stressful
Mr. X is so
in this
fucking
game.
Terrifying. I'm so excited.
Yeah, no, he is a crazy motherfucker in this game, and my one friend is like, he really wants to. He is playing Resident Evil 2, but like he does not like what he calls quote chase simulators, because like he doesn't like getting chased in games. It's just like it's not like he thinks it's bad design. He just literally gets too scared with it.
It's too stressful.
And it's yeah, it's like, and it was he was like live texting me as it happened, and he was like, "Okay, Joe, I'm gonna fucking wuss out, and I'm gonna mute the audio." I'm like, Dylan, that is not how that mechanic is supposed to work. You're supposed to hear him so that you can fucking get out of there. And he's like, I can see him. He's a big guy, and it's like I've never seen him compromise on a game design, because it literally would just like cripple his way to play the game.
Jesus.
My God.
Which is hilarious. And like I don't want to give him shit for it, but also the next time I see him in person, I'll be like, wow. But no, that game is great. And I've also been playing actually, no, that's going to tie into the direct stuff, so I'll save that for later. I've also been reading Black Clover still, and I'm getting kind of close to the halfway mark, I'd say, because we're at like chapter 192 current, 193, and now I'm at like 69 or 70 or something like that. Hell yeah. Like, I just did a...
Sorry, continue.
I'm gonna try to think.
There's just some random cackling going on here. Don't worry.
I'm just trying to think about how to word this without spoiling the arc. But it's basically like a fight that's going on in like a water temple right now. It's like,
fight is so good.
Yeah, because they introduce a whole bunch of new characters where I'm at right now, and they're all really fucking
like
good.
the boss fight at the end of the temple? Is that where you're at?
Yeah, because like, again, not trying to spoil it, but like, let's just say that the original intent of the fight has changed. Like, that's not the thing anymore. Yeah. And like, it's just really fucking good. Oh my god, I love the characterization in this series.
It only gets better. Like, that Black Clover is criminally underrated. A lot of people aren't talking about it.
Oh yeah, they're sleeping hardcore. Probably because the anime just is not as good as the comic. And like, that's just a fact.
The manga is just far superior from
like
what I've been told.
100%.
That's all I keep hearing is like anybody that talks about Black Clover, they're like, no, don't watch the anime. Don't even look at it. Don't smell it. Don't touch it.
If they
just
re-edited the anime to just have pacing like the manga, I feel like it'd be a ton better.
I heard it does get better. Like
I've heard like that too.
They've been course correcting it and fixing a lot of the complaints people have had. So I've heard recently it's been better, but you know it just had a really bad rough start.
Yeah, because like I think what they were trying to do is that they were trying to allow themselves to keep Black Clover as like an ongoing series without having breaks in the cores or whatever. Like they're trying to keep it different from My Hero, where My Hero they can't fuck up. It's too valuable of a property. Where they're just like, okay, if we do not adapt this correctly, people will not be happy. But Black Clover, because it's like, you know, it's a little bit lower on the list, but they need something for like television time. You know, I think they're just purposely keeping Black Clover like a longer anime so that they can have it release every single week for the most part.
Yeah.
And like, oh my god, it really suffers in pacing because like 18 episodes was a lot to get to where it was at. Like, because I think like by episode 18 they like gotten through like 20 chapters of the manga, and it's like that's so fucking slow. Like, holy shit. The first volume took 9 episodes in the anime, and that's super slow. So,
Yeah, it's like, because it's the whole thing with Black Clover. Like, I guess that's what gets me is Black Clover is like, its thing is lightning fast pacing.
yeah, it's breakneck. Like, things happen fast, but it's not like
and for the-
unbalanced.
No, it's like really fast pacing, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the show, the fact that it's like the exact opposite.
It just...
Because like I guess they slowed it down so it would be paced like a normal series, and that's not how Black Clover works.
no, it's not. Like, that...
And that's definitely to its detriment.
Like, it's nice when Black Clover has, like, a little bit of downtime, sure, because, like, you know, if it was just breakneck pacing all the time, it would just kind of, like, get on you after a while. So it does have good moments of, like, downtime. Like, I originally thought I was going to hate the beach episode, but the beach episode was actually pretty decent. I didn't, like, dislike it all that much. And it also had a really good moment with Yami, so that's great. I'm still not at that part where you see his, like, bare ass, which I cannot wait for. But, yeah, no, it's like, Black Clover just has, like, really, really good fights. They're very easy to read, which, like, you don't get that often with, like, a shonen series. Thanks, Corey.
Oh, sorry. I'm moving things around.
But, like, usually with, like, a shonen manga, sometimes the fights just kind of get lost. And, like, you can ascertain what's happening, but I feel like with Black Clover, it's much clearer than some of the other cut.
It's a lot easier to follow.
Yeah, which is why you can, like, read 6 or 7 chapters in, like, 47 minutes or something like that. I know for some people they'd be like, wait, you can only read that much in that much time, but I actually, like, read the dialogue and look at the art. I am not a barbarian. And also I'm reading it on my phone, so inherently it takes a little longer to do that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, no, Black Clover's been like a really enjoyable read so far.
Yeah, I'm very excited for you to like get caught up.
Oh yeah.
So we can talk Black Clover, because I have so much to say about that series.
The new
I love it
arc.
so much. Yeah, it's because the arc that they're on now is like you know, I think it's apt to compare Black Clover to Naruto.
Yeah.
And like they're on the tuning exam.
Oh,
like,
it's okay.
They're on the
now
part
they're
of
on
the
the
story
tuning
where
exams.
where it cranks up.
Okay, fuck
Like,
yeah.
And it's awesome. It's the longest arc so far. Like by far.
Is it like a tournament arc, or is it a little different?
No, it's not a tournament arc, but it's like the same level of like stakes and
Yes.
like this is where it gets serious.
Okay, cool.
But it's like this arc is the only arc that's like the length of an actual like shonen arc.
Yeah, because the
If that
arcs are
makes
pretty
sense.
short in Black Clover.
They're really short because they're fast.
Yeah.
This is like this is a long story arc, and it's really good.
Hell yeah.
And there's so many fights.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm excited to get caught up.
Yeah, I can't wait because we're gonna talk about it because it's really good.
And my one last thing before we get into the direct is that this has been something that I have talked about with a lot of people, like in person, and this is also something that like has just been on the news fucking everywhere. But holy shit, Amazon backed out of the New York City deal for Headquarters 2, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of shocking. I mean, because New York City is such a huge area, and you would think that like having your HQ in New York City makes the most sense.
But like the controversy behind it, which I was, at first I was like, oh hey, that's kind of cool because like that's a potential job as like a new coming to the city.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem that New York City continues to face after like the past 10 or 15 years that it's been going on is like, you know, Brooklyn is getting like very gentrified. It's like definitely past that point, and now it's like, you know, Brooklyn is expensive now to live in. It's like, honest to God, it's like it's a commodity right now. It's very valuable. Like, you know, Dumbo, Bushwick, all those areas, those are all Williamsburg. Those are all like hot cities right now to live in, or neighborhoods. And like, you know, that shit's been starting to spread. Like, Harlem is starting to get gentrified, and that's really problematic because, you know, Harlem is where a lot of low-income residents could, like, actually live there and stuff like that. And, like, the Bronx will probably take a while to get to that point because, you know, it still kind of has a reputation right now. It's really not that bad, but, like, there are definitely some parts of the Bronx that you just do not go around at night. Let's just say that much.
Right.
But Queens has been relatively unscathed by this. You know, there's like areas in Queens like Flushing or Elmhurst and Jamaica that don't really get touched because, number one, they're very far out. Even for like, you know, a person that lives here. Like, going to Flushing is like a day trip or something like that, unless you live there. But where Amazon was going to be moving is Long Island City, which is like a 10-minute train ride from where I live, you know, Astoria. So I would have felt this firsthand experience too, where my rent probably would have gone up by like double the amount, which is already, let's just say it's not cheap to live here, but it's, compared to Manhattan or anywhere else, it's relatively affordable. But Amazon moving in and then bringing in basically Silicon Valley, like jobs and rate and stuff like that, would also bring Silicon Valley rent prices, which, while Long Island City is getting, it's kind of naturally just getting gentrified anyways because it's like literally across the river from Manhattan, like literally like Lexington 59th Street. It would have like accelerated that process like tenfold, and the rent would have been crazy high, and all these like businesses and people who live there now probably would not be able to afford it, and then they'd like, just what the fuck would they do? So like, I've heard some people that are on that side of the argument where it's like, yo, no, please keep Astoria and like Long Island City local and not that. Do not make it Silicon Valley, which it definitely would have. But the other side of the argument is like, that is 25,000 jobs and like a huge amount of improvement to the neighborhood on paper that just did not happen because politicians got mad.
Yep.
Also, the people were not happy. Believe me, I was there. I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
But it really also was
you.
the politicians of the area that are just like, what the fuck are you doing? No, you can't do that. That's too much area. That's too much like shit to happen to this neighborhood. A lot of people live here. You can't just fucking do that to them.
Yeah.
So, you know, it kind of just depends on who you talk to. Generally, the more liberal-minded are like, you know, are on the side of keep Amazon out of here. And then the conservative side, the Republican side, is more like, no, we really do need that for jobs and stuff like that. Which is kind of the reverse, I feel like, of what a lot of places would be like. But Virginia's going to get Amazon HQ, so, like, whatever. No big deal. They probably need it more than we do.
Don't worry, the mayor out here in
somewhere else.
Rochester, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The
they're
mayor
just
of
gonna
Rochester
set it up in
was just
Rochester.
like, yeah, she was like, no, Amazon should come to Rochester. And I was like, oh, fuck right off. I'm like, please, we're not getting any Amazon HQ out here. I'm like, go away.
Like, yeah, right. They're coming to Rochester.
Yeah, okay. I honestly
it's-
feel like Syracuse would probably make sense as well, or like somewhere in Jersey, because like, you know, Jersey has a lot of land, and it's like
At least
central to like a lot of that area.
If they wanted to keep it in New York, obviously, I would say Syracuse or like, you know,
Because like
Jersey.
Syracuse fucking needs the jobs more than like a lot of places in New York. Syracuse definitely deserves to get like some kind of boost because it's struggling. It's not doing good. It needs something
No.
like that to like bring in
Right.
the rich people and make it clean up.
and just help.
Because New York already gets like a lot of tax dollar revenues and stuff like that. It's still it's definitely there's always things to improve, but like you can drive a car here and not like hit a pothole and get fucked up. Syracuse, I can't exactly say the same thing. The roads just aren't anywhere near as good. There's a lot of like crumbling buildings and stuff like that. Amazon being there and bringing in the rich people would bring in those tax voters and stuff like that, and that could clean up the city. Whereas New York don't need that. We good.
Nope.
Before we get into the direct, I have one quick little bit that I wanna get in regarding Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys heard about Jeff Bezos' dick?
What? No. Is it online?
No. It's kind of funny. So his whole thing, how he's getting divorced and whatever.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Because the National Enquirer, they leaked his text with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So because of that whole thing, Jeff Bezos was like, okay, but like, how'd you get my texts? So he launched a private investigation into it.
Oh shit! International Enquirer.
International Enquirer, and how they got his private text messages.
Holy shit.
And as a response, National Enquirer emailed him, and they were like, hey, drop the investigation, or we're going to put your dick pics online.
What the fuck?
And he was like, that's literally blackmail, and I have a record of you saying it.
Because they're idiots.
Jeff Bezos is pulling a Hulk Hogan, and he's suing the National Enquirer
Holy shit,
for blackmail.
I mean, honestly, it was about time that somebody sued them.
That's a thing that's happening.
Honestly, that was the best thing I've heard today. That's amazing.
Shit.
Fuck the National Enquirer. Thank God.
But I guess that just goes to show that if you're a media outlet, be careful which
information,
most fucking wealthy and influential people in the world you piss off.
Yeah, because Jeff Bezos is probably one of the top 20 most powerful people in the world right now.
And also, don't blackmail people.
Yeah, don't.
Don't.
Especially for information.
Yeah,
And make sure, but I mean, don't get caught blackmailing. Sorry, just don't get caught blackmailing.
Well,
where they could have evidence on you.
He's having a bad time, and they're having a bad time.
Oh, man.
Everyone's having a bad time.
Yeah,
Not us. We're having a good time.
Yeah,
Oh, baby, a triple.
It's oh, baby, a triple.
Bat. Oh, baby.
And now we can get to the direct.
Yeah, direct was a lot of fun. I just watched it today, and so I got to I'm still fresh off that hype train of most all the stuff, and I could say number one thing I'm excited for is Legend of Zelda.
Yes.
I'm all about
regarding that once we get to it.
I'm all about revamping more Legend of Zelda games. It is super fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe then I'll get into it now.
Okay.
That's my problem with it.
Oh, is it?
I fucking adore the way this game looks. I'm really excited for it.
I do.
Yeah,
I wish it was an original game and not a remake of Link's Awakening.
I can see what. Yeah.
I'm really tired of them just remaking games because they know it'll sell. I would like to see this really cool art style applied to something actually new and not just a remake of a Game Boy game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
because that
guess.
game's old as fuck too. Isn't that was the first Game Boy game that they're remaking,
it's very
right?
old. I'm sure it'll play better. I mean, it's not like it ever played properly, but it's like
it's a Zelda game.
I don't want this. It's the game that I'm most excited for on this list.
Yeah.
But man, it would have been a lot cooler if it wasn't a remake.
It would have been solid if it was a new game, but
I kind of wish it was more like a sequel to A Link Between Two Worlds kind of thing, where it has kind of that general kind of feel.
Yeah, I just wish it was its own thing.
Whatever.
Because the art style is so drastically different.
Yeah.
This is kind of like a new.
It's
what the hell is
looks
that
like
game called?
Octopath almost.
Yeah, it does kind of got that. It's got that depth of blur and lighting effect, but this is this generation's. What is the GameCube game
Wind
called?
Waker?
Oh,
Oh,
Wind Waker.
Yes, it's this generation's
Got it.
Wind Waker, where it's just a huge departure.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like they pushed the art direction so far, and it looks incredible. But it's like,
Yeah.
why didn't you go the extra
Yeah.
step and just like create an original
Make-
game? Like,
Right.
Yeah, make a new story.
Call it something different.
Yeah.
I'm
That's my
also like
issue for
kind
it. I'm
of
excited
partial to
for
the.
it, but I don't like that.
I'm also kind of partial to the fact that it's a fucking fixed camera angle, and like I know it's a remake of the Game Boy game, and I know I like that, but that's like actively one of the things I don't like about the original Zelda games. That the new ones do really well is that they give you a camera and make that world feel really big for
Yeah.
that reason.
I wonder if
Yeah,
it's
I
the
li-
same as
But that's
as,
just me.
the Pokemon game, Pokemon Go, where like the fixed camera helps with
Was because
Yeah.
of the design, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's the reason it has it is the top-down like 2D Zelda. Even the newer ones
Yeah.
still have that.
And I also just don't care for those games. That's just a personal taste
Well,
of mine.
I love them, and I'm excited.
Yeah, same.
I'm pretty pumped for it.
I'm excited.
I'm willing to give it a try, but you know, I would have been more interested if it was like what you said, same like beautiful art style, just like a new game.
And then obviously Mario Maker 2 got announced as
Yeah,
well.
Mario
which-
Maker 2 is
Fuck
cool.
yeah.
Very excited about that.
It's
Fuck
great.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that game looks awesome.
I mean, couldn't be any happier about that. That Mario Maker made its way to the Switch now, so being able
it's
to
actually a full sequel too.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm really happy. I
It's
thought
super
they were gonna just like kind of port it. I'm really glad that it's like a full sequel.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because like, hopefully we actually get a good portable Mario Maker this time.
yeah. Get out of the way, DS version.
Yeah, fucking fuck miss me with that bullshit.
So, I mean, I
Yeah.
think this is going to be great. I think like being able to play different like not character created levels. People that just create their own levels and share them, and just kind of having that experience of Mario Maker, but now just on the Switch. I think it's just going to be amazing. It's I think it has so much potential to becoming like one of the probably the best Mario Maker game, and obviously
Out of
now it's on
all
a
two.
console. Out of all two of them, and also I guess out of the fact that it's like I don't know, it's on a console that's gonna survive. That's another
Yeah.
big deal, I guess.
Not
Yeah, I think
trapped
that
on the
game's
Wii
gonna
U.
be huge with kids.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah,
and because like Mario Maker, as much as I wanted to play, it kind of like died out because the Wii U kind of just died. it
Yeah,
didn't,
I
it didn't
feel like
have enough chance to like really hit its strides. And then
I mean, I
no.
didn't play that game because I didn't have a Wii U.
right,
And, I wasn't,
Same.
so
and the 3DS version wasn't online. What the fuck is that?
yeah.
Yeah.
So at least now we got this. So that was extremely exciting. I was very happy to hear about that, and especially I think Fire Emblem getting
Fire
another
Emblem.
announcement
You know
too.
what?
Fire Emblem looks really good.
Fire Emblem is a game I haven't touched ever. It's a game I always hear about, and listening to the description of this new game where you're like a professor who teaches has me extremely intrigued, and I think kind of really I really want to hop on.
Yeah,
I-
I'm really excited. I love all of the like fully animated CG cutscenes and everything's voiced.
Oh, yeah, the game's
So
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
it looks really good.
I'm skeptical about the story, just because like the whole
Yeah,
school teacher angle is kind of really weird, and I don't know if I like it yet.
Yeah, it seems weird
it's weird
for
for, like,
Fire
a war
Emblem,
game. Yeah, it's,
Yeah, it's
especially.
like
I
kind of
guess.
like why, I guess. Like
it reminds me a lot of Valkyria Chronicles 2
Yeah.
as well, which is an apt comparison because they're like both strategy RPGs. But like,
yeah.
that's the reason I didn't play that game is because it was a cast about like a bunch of fucking teenagers, and it's like I don't really need an anime
yeah,
school
it's like
shooter.
this is really different.
Which is a weird thing to say.
Anime school
It's a
shooter.
weird thing to say, but like,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, I mean, like, it's an accurate
Oh,
description
no.
of like, it's an accurate description of Valkyria Chronicles 2, but it's a bad syntax.
If we have episode titles, I think that should be it.
Oh god,
School shooter.
oh god, that's not good.
Oh shit!
But
I
like,
thought it-
yeah,
I
no,
thought it
that's
was
kind of one
unique.
of the, and it's just like, I don't know, like specifically the thing I'm worried about is because they're also like they're all kids, and I'm afraid that they're just gonna like blend together as characters because like Fire Emblem, one of its unique things is like Awakening is a good example where like one of the characters that you pick up is I think like 17 years old. Like I remember that he wears like a bucket hat or something like that.
Yep.
But then you have characters like Gregor who are like 42 and like a father with a daughter who turns into a dragon or some shit.
Yeah.
Like
Damn.
I'm just afraid that the new Fire Emblem game's just not by being a game about a school, even with gifted kids or whatever, it's just not
Like,
going to do that.
Yeah, it's not going to have that variety of ages.
I don't love the idea of, for that reason, like sticking it in a school so it kind of like grounds you to one spot, and it's all the characters have the same, like they all have like kind of different backgrounds because it's like this guy's from this country, this guy's from that country.
Yeah,
but it's
exactly.
like, but they're all students at this school, so they all kind of have the same background.
And it kind of just falls into this anime trope in general. Like, you know, where it's just like the teenagers go on an adventure. You know, it's like Trails of Cold Steel kind of thing. But Trails of Cold Steel is really fucking good. And if you have never played
I've heard a lot of things I've heard a lot of people talk about
you should
that
fucking buy them out there on Steam. It's
yeah, I think
I'm a shameful plug that, but I'm just saying, like, it's been done before, and it's
I'm
like
just hoping there's more
it's
to
nothing
it,
new.
because it's like, I mean,
I
the
agree.
thing,
Yeah.
Fire Emblem usually it's like some weird thing,
Usually
and then
it's
there's
good.
more to it.
Yeah.
Because like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking think Fire Emblem Awakening. It's like a normal game, and then it turns into time travel, and then there's a time skip, and there's like a whole second story that comes after that. So it's like,
And it's, I mean,
Fire Emblem Fates. I don't even know what was going on there. That was not a great game. But
I didn't even play Fates.
I like to
Yeah, no.
hope that this is more in the vein of Awakening, and that it surprises me. I mean, like I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
And hey, at least that's not going to be
I'm gonna
two
play.
different
Yeah, I'm gonna
versions
play
this
it,
time.
and the whole game is on one game, so it's not Fates.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna like it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
excited.
think so too. I think I'm gonna enjoy it. I mean, I enjoyed Fire Emblem in the past. I mean, it's like, why wouldn't I enjoy this one at
Yeah, I
all?
love Fire
I like
Emblem.
the concept of like being a teacher. You're usually the student, so I'm excited to see like where that
Well,
goes.
it's sort of
I mean, when you're playing
in
a Fire Emblem
that's
game,
kind
you
of
play
what
as
you play as. Yeah.
you kind of
Is it?
control
Okay.
as all the characters, so you control where they go on the maps and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's like, you know,
Because like that's why this guy's the teacher, so he tells the students where to go. In Awakening, you
Yeah.
played as the
Like
yeah,
the
like-
commander.
yeah,
the tactician.
Yeah, you're the
you play as
battle
the tactician,
strategist,
and
yeah.
it's like that's your role is to tell people where to go. Like that's like
Okay.
that's
and what?
yeah, that's how the
That's
game
kind
works.
of the same. It's like it's a different, different costume,
Yeah.
similar role kind of deal.
Yeah,
I'm
So like we'll
interested
see with this
nonetheless.
game. It looks very pretty and it looks like a cool ass game. So like
Oh,
we'll
and it
just
has the ghost girl with the Christmas hair.
go through Christmas here.
By the way,
Love it.
my youngest brother Carter is playing Fire Emblem Mobile. I can't
Fire
remember
Emblem
the
Oh,
title.
Heroes.
Yeah.
It's Fire Emblem Heroes.
And
That's a fun game.
He's constantly complained to me how every time any of the female characters get hit, they do like a very like sugoi like ooh cutesy pose, like ooh I've been hurt. So
That's just that game.
he kind of did like a whole. I was telling him I'm pretty excited for this game. He's like I could just imagine all of like female students coming up to the teacher like, oh teacher.
Oh yeah, if
And I started
No.
like I was like, please don't give
if
me
the
that.
past few Fire Emblem games are anything to go by, this is probably going to be pretty horny.
There's gonna be a lot of waifu wars in this
I
game.
hope
yeah.
it's better than in Fates, because Fates did not implement that system well.
No, it did not.
No.
it wasn't very good, from what I heard.
Even like, honestly, it's like one of those cases where like I'm kind of okay that version that feature in the Japanese version was cut because that's just a lot.
Yeah,
And I hope this game doesn't have like
Oh.
the children. Like,
Oh, the
yeah, because
children
it
mechanic?
made sense in Awakening, and they just like shoved it into Fates, and it didn't. It was stupid.
I also hope that gay marriage is still an option in this game. I mean, I actually don't know why that would be. Let's say same
I
sex
hope that-
relationships because marriage does not make
I
sense.
hope that not only is it a thing, but it's also not really shitty like it was in Fates. Or
Yeah,
as a
because with
version,
Fates it was, like,
it's
really
a version
specific.
exclusive.
No, it's like if you wanted
Yeah.
the lesbian relationship, you had to buy one game, and if you wanted the gay relationship, you had to buy another
Oh,
game.
that's awful.
which like were two honestly very different games
Yeah.
at the end of the day. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And it was like one
Jeez.
character in each game.
Like, I hope it's just a natural
I hope
system.
it's
Yeah.
better. It was a good step forward in Fates, but it was
It
very
was.
wasn't it was a step forward. It wasn't a good step forward.
Yes.
No.
I do agree with that. It wasn't. Yeah, I've heard a lot of ugh about it, and I'm just like, I had no interest in playing it. Like once I heard that thing come out, I was like, nah, I'm good. Like I just knew in my heart it wasn't gonna be that great. So I actively avoided it.
Harry, I know you had some stuff to say about Yoshi's Crafting
Yes.
World.
I
Oh, yeah,
played
yeah.
the demo, and it's really cute, and I really like it.
It looks
I
it.
still
It's
need
pretty
to play
cool
it.
because it's like it's like a 2D platformer type game, but it's also like 3D because you can like
Yeah.
like there will be parts where you can direct the Yoshi to go down or up, and he'll like walk towards the screen or away from the screen, or it's a 2D platformer that occasionally takes on elements of like a 3D game, and you can
It kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of Little Big
Yeah,
Planet.
sort
I was
of.
just about to say that,
Um,
yeah. And I like
like
that.
you can aim at people that are in the background or in the foreground. That'll like be part of the game, is you have to like shoot someone in the background to do something or whatever. So it's sort of it's really cool. It's really different from the other Yoshi games. I think it's a good evolution for the series from the tiny bit I've played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to.
It's got really creative,
Hopefully, I'll get to play it tomorrow.
really cute like stages, and it's cool going backwards through them because you can do that. Once you beat
nice.
a level, you can go backwards through it, and the diorama is flipped, so you're seeing the background of all the cardboard and everything.
Oh, I love that.
That kind of reminds me of what they did on Yoshi 64. Because, like, the levels
Yeah.
loop in that game.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. Joe, did you play the demo?
I did not. I haven't. Because I've been playing the Damon Machina.
Damon X Machina.
demo.
Machina.
Damon X Machina. Which, oh, that's funny.
Yep, that's
That's a
a
funny
joke.
pun.
That's the joke.
Because, like, I just read it as, like, a fucking Japanese name, and, like, you don't pronounce the X or some shit, unless that's, like, Damon Cross Machina, but I guess it really literally is Damon X Machina, so that's funny.
It's Damon times Machina.
Which, like, I've been playing that demo on the ride to work, and, like, sometimes, like, during lunch break or whatever, and that game's pretty much what I expected it would play like. It is not complete. At all. It still has because I've been playing it. I don't know about you, Harry. It sounds like you've been playing it like on TV mode.
I haven't tried it
probably.
yet. I'm excited to.
Oh, okay. So I have not tried it in TV mode. I have played it in handheld mode, and
I heard it's not good.
yeah, there's
It's
some.
like handheld.
There's a lot of optimization that needs to be done. Because I'm not like a pinpoint pixel crawl, like pixel peeper type person. Like, I can't just look at an image and be like, yeah, that's 540p. But I
Yeah.
can take like rough estimates. This game is not running at 720p on Switch in the handheld mode.
No.
Maybe it runs at like 720 on the TV, and then it'll like actually probably look pretty good. But it's pretty blurry on the handheld, and like certain elements like lighting and bloom are definitely rendered at lower resolutions. Like, you can just tell by the
Yeah,
stair
I
stepping.
heard
But the-
from a lot of people's impressions that the game is really good docked and really bad handheld.
Yeah. Because, like, the problem with the handheld experience is that, like, yeah, the game, like, doesn't look as good on the screen, but what really hurts is the frame rate is fucking bad on the handheld.
Speaking of, just like insert, I thought the Assassin's Creed looked like it was playing at like 20 frames a second on the direct.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it didn't.
That's just Assassin's Creed, just
It
in general.
looks
Those
so
games do
bad.
not run
Yeah,
great
it doesn't look like it's gonna run very well on the Switch. I mean, I played it back in the day
on like PS3,
on
Xbox
360. Yeah, and honestly, I'm good. I don't think I'll actually buy the HD remaster.
Yeah, I'm not
As-
pretty excited about that either.
as
Yeah,
much
I don't
as,
think
like-
anyone is actually interested in Assassin's Creed 3.
No,
like,
I mean-
of what I know about that series, that is the one that people are just like the most about.
It's fine. Like, I don't know. I enjoyed it, but I don't think I would ever go back and do it again. I think I could see myself going back into like Assassin's Creed 2 or Black
Yeah,
Flag
like,
or
of all the
you know,
games to port, why Assassin's Creed 3?
Like 3.
Assassin's Creed 3 was like even the one where most people were like story-wise they weren't like going crazy over it either. Like that was the first time I saw the ending and I was like, "Oh, well that's kind of interesting. I wonder what they're going to do with it." And they did nothing with it.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Yeah, no
what
one
a
cared
fart
about 3.
in the wind. I mean, it was like
Fart in the wind.
it really was. And I was like, ugh. I mean, to this very day, I still don't understand why they even ended it the way they did. And Assassin's Creed 3 is like the most inconsequential in the series for sure, even though it made itself
yeah.
out to be like one of the most important in this franchise. So
America.
it was kind of sad.
But just to finish up Daemon X Machina, I haven't finished the demo yet because there's like 4 missions and they're pretty long. They each last like a half hour or something like
Oh,
that,
cool.
40 minutes.
Like-
Yeah,
I might
no,
get
it's
that
actually
demo
like
then.
it's a sizable demo and it has like character creation and it actually is a lot of fun. It's a fun game, but like I'll probably have to play it docked at some point just so I get like an actual good impression because like it definitely runs a little because it runs a little slower. The pacing also feels a little slower and the controls just do not feel as good on the Joy-Cons. I feel like with a Pro controller that game is going to feel a lot better to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically. I've downloaded like a bunch of stuff. Like I have the Yoshi's demo downloaded, and I also have Tetris 99 downloaded, but I haven't played it
I
yet.
haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Apparently, it's actually supposed to be really
Yeah.
good,
Yeah,
which is a weird thing to say.
there was
but,
another
like,
Tetris game that came out like recently, and it was really fucking good. I forgot what it was called.
it's for the PS4.
Yeah.
Puyo
Fucking-
Puyo?
No,
No, it wasn't
not
Puyo
Puyo.
Tetris. That game is
Because that was...
shit.
I love
No,
Puyo.
there was like this recent Tetris game.
It's by the same guy that made Rez.
Yeah, it's really fucking good because the music's
I think it's
awesome.
called Tetris
Oh, yeah,
Effect.
Tetris Effect.
Yes, that was it. It was
That's
Tetris
supposed to be
Effect.
really
It's
good.
funny you mentioned music, Ryan. I was watching the direct with Carter for like a second, and the like losing music for Tetris is immediately what made me consider buying the game.
I'm really
It just
glad.
sounds so nice. The music sounds so nice in that game.
It is.
Oh, for Tetris Effect, I
Tetris
want to
Effect
play
is
it really
supposed
bad
to be
because
really
like
fucking good, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
It looks
and it's
fun.
all
It's
it's
great.
I think it's by the same guy that made Rez and also the same guy that made Lumines.
Yes,
so
it is.
like I'm definitely gonna have to play that game at some point.
Yeah, definitely. I highly recommend Tetris Effect to anybody who likes just puzzle games, but also who loves just rockin' music and aesthetic. Like, it bleeds
Oh
aesthetic.
yeah, it's a super pretty game. I'd love to play this game in VR.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I know that it is available in VR.
Yeah, it's a
isn't it?
VR game.
Yeah, it's got a VR mode.
Yeah. So, yeah, no. Highly recommend that game. It's really good. And I did want to play Tetris 99 for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be the one I play first because it's free.
What are your guys' thoughts, I guess, about like Dragon Quest 11 coming onto the Switch as well? Because I'm personally really,
Oh, fuck yeah.
really excited.
Similarly to Fire Emblem, that trailer got me really interested in Dragon Quest.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
fucking
I've-
pumped for Dragon
The
Quest.
only
11
Dragon
on
Quest
Switch.
game I've ever played is the very first one.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited.
I played 4 back in the day.
Yeah,
and
I'm
4 was
kinda-
pretty good. It's just old.
I'm kind of all about that character. Like, you know, he's the chosen one.
Oh yeah,
but
he
he's got to
seems
like
very much up
fight
your
for his role
alley.
again. He's
Oh,
a
yeah.
very Corey character. Yeah.
It starts off pretty generic, and then it turns into something completely different, and it really just takes it and twists it on its head, and that's what
Yeah, I
really is
like
the
it a
appeal
lot.
of it. It's so good, and also you got the character designs from
Yeah.
the creator of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I love that
Yeah,
the
dude.
main character's just
Oh.
future Trunks with brown hair.
Yes, it is. It's really good.
Yeah.
But like some of the shit that's wild about the Switch version, like I mean, yeah, we all knew it was going to run on Unreal Engine 4. We all knew it was going to be the PS4 version. Which it actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it would be because the PS4 version didn't even run at a full 1080p. It ran at 900p. So, like, you know, like, scale down a little bit more. As long as it runs at, like, 720p docked, I don't care. It'll probably look fine. But, like, specifically, what I'm really excited about, which is crazy that they're able to do this, the game is now fully orchestrated on
Yeah,
Switch.
Yeah.
The
I heard
PS4
that.
version used fucking MIDI tracks,
Which is
bad
bizarre.
MIDI tracks.
I don't know
Yeah,
why they did
this
that.
game
That
is-
makes
It's-
no sense
This
to
game
me.
is fully orchestrated. It has 2 voice tracks, and you can play it in like the
Yeah.
regular version and the 16-bit one from the 3DS game. Like this is like absolutely
Yeah,
the
like-
definitive Dragon Quest 11.
This game actually has the Japanese voice acting, which the PS4 version in Japan didn't even have at launch.
Yeah, that blew my mind too when I heard that. So
'Cause, like,
honestly, the Switch
Dragon-
version seems like the
And
best
it's,
version.
no,
to
it's like
buy.
literally it's
I was
called
gonna
the
say-
definitive version. Like it's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad I waited.
And like
same
Yeah.
here. I'm glad I did
There
not
is-
touch the game yet.
I let myself I want to talk about this mechanic so bad, but like it's technically a spoiler. So I there is a mechanic that they are improving in Dragon Quest XI S that makes me very, very excited because I didn't know this was a thing that happened in the game, but like they're modifying it for more options, and it's like fuck yeah, I'm excited for it.
Nice.
But I know that sounded vague, but it technically is like a endgame spoiler.
People who hear it,
yeah.
who have played it, will know what you're talking about.
Yeah, probably. But specifically, like, the reason why the orchestrated thing is, like, a big deal is because there's actually a big licensing problem with how the music in Dragon Quest is represented,
Yeah,
because
'cause
it's all through one guy.
Yeah, I remember
And
reading
he
about this.
felt... Like, there's actually a really good documentary about it on YouTube. Stop Skeletons from Fighting did a video about it, and it's like... Basically, to boil it down... before video game copyright was like solidified into what it is, all of the rights and decision making went to the original composer. And he has, he's like an old ass Japanese man, so like he has very strict views on this kind of stuff. And Dragon Quest XI, the soundtrack when it came out on PS4 was like under his, control and stuff like that. So he did not want the orchestrated version in the game. He wanted like the MIDI version because it was like more quote unquote authentic or whatever. And people fucking hated that. No one liked that. Especially once they released an orchestrated version of the soundtrack on like CD, and it's like, why the fuck was this not in the game? Come on, this is stupid. So the fact that the Switch is getting it is like amazing.
Yeah.
It's such a good thing.
I guess to just kind of like wrap things up, I guess I'm kind of surprised that they didn't do Pokemon, but
Yeah.
honestly, I think they're gonna wait until
Yeah.
E3. I think
Yeah, I
that
think
now
they're
if
probably
they
not.
don't do it
They're
now,
not-
they got E3.
They're not waiting until E3 to unveil it. That game's due out this year. Like,
Well,
like
I
that
mean,
game's coming out probably November this year.
I mean, well, that's why I think they'll do it at E3 for the summer, because in the summer they'll
maybe
tease
next-
it, and then they'll be
maybe
like,
next
hey,
month's
yeah,
direct.
that's.
or yeah,
I
maybe
think
next month's direct.
Pokemon games usually get announced at the beginning of the year and then come out at the end of the year.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, that's like every previous generation, like they get announced in like February, March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll probably see at least a concept trailer.
Like we'll know
Yeah, and
we'll know
probably get
the
gameplay around
names of the
E3.
games probably next month.
Yeah.
Probably. It'll be fun. Like
has
I'm
me-
very excited.
I'm so
Pumped.
excited.
I hope this time I don't do what I do with every new Pokemon game, which is get it, play it for like 3 days, and then realize like, I don't want to level grind, and then like not get into it anymore. I do that with like every Pokemon game since like
I
Gen
don't know.
4.
But like
I think
the
it's
last like 5 games
I
haven't
feel like
had
it's
level
just so
grinding
easy
in them.
though.
yeah.
no, like
I mean, it's been a pretty
there is
easy.
no
It's
level
true,
grinding in
it's
these
true.
games.
It's been pretty like every Pokemon game thus far has been pretty simple. Of just once you start, you kind of go and you just go.
It's one of those
Yeah.
things where I think I pick it up for the nostalgia of like starting a new Pokemon game, like I did when I was like 13.
Yeah.
And then after I get like 10 minutes into it, I guess I get burnt out. But you can bet your ass I'm gonna be buying the next Pokemon game anyway.
Because it's like
I'm proud
like
of you.
you don't go
Thank
into
you.
these new games like with that mentality because like
No, yeah.
like because I remember that level grinding too, and that's why I don't play the older games anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that and
but,
they
like,
expanded a lot more now. There's a lot more to do than just battle with your Pokemon.
Yeah. but like because it's like that one mechanic in the old games where like you can level up a Pokemon even if they're not in battle. And they modified that so it's literally all your Pokemon level up even if they're not in battle, like at the same time. So
Yeah,
like
there's like
that mechanic, like that level grinding mechanic, is
there's
really
no
not a thing
grinding anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So they fixed it up a lot. So honestly, I mean, I
the
think
games are also laughably easy. Like
yeah, they've been
Sun and
stupidly
Moon-
easy. Like
I didn't
it's
lose
bad.
Sun
once
and
during
Moon,
the Final Four.
I think all the way up until the Elite Four, I don't think any trainers have more than 2 Pokemon at a time, and you have a full team of 6.
Oh
like,
gosh.
Oh yeah, and it's
I think some of
like
them
those
had
games
3,
are goofy easy.
yeah.
which is
I
ridiculous.
mean,
Like,
I mean, they're probably appealing. They're trying to get as many young people into it, and they've been kind of keeping it simple for like little kids. But I do agree.
Yeah.
I wish that they kind of did make the Elite Four seem a little bit more of a challenge to fight them than what it is. But
yeah, I'm not as into it. Like I love playing the new games now, like for just an experience. But
yeah,
it's like I wasn't challenged at all.
no. No,
in
I still
Sun
love
and
them
Moon.
because
I've never
they're
felt
Pokemon
that.
games, and like you said, it's kind of
Yeah.
like a I guess cultural thing because everyone plays them, so it's fun to be part
Oh
of
yeah,
that.
and if
But
you have like a
as
friend that will
games-
like fight against you, like that's always a fun thing when you collect your own Pokemon. Your friend collects theirs, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna battle you," and then you battle your friend. Like that was like
Yeah.
a lot of a good appeal of like a lot of the new Pokemon games. I think I had more fun battling my friends than I did like anything else really, and I just loved collecting.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that with the Switch too, having that portability to do that.
yeah, but so as I was
Yeah.
like in the middle of saying,
Oh, sorry, that was my bad.
I was just gonna say like I don't think they're good games most of the time. Like they're fun experiences, but the game itself isn't particularly great.
Yeah, I agree. I can agree with that. Is there, I guess, anything else? Other than, I mean, I was gonna say maybe Final Fantasy, but I mean, we've been talking for
think
3.5
it's fucking
hours. This
hilarious
has
that
been a
Final-
long.
I will say that I think it's fucking hilarious that Final Fantasy IX came out on Switch as a surprise before
And
Final
it's also-
Fantasy VII did.
Yeah.
Even though they're both like the
It's
same game.
$21
Final Fantasy IX's
for some
out.
reason. Like it's
Which
$21. It's
Yeah.
$20.99 is how much it costs.
That's very
Before
specific.
tax.
It's like mobile game.
That's because it's a
pricing or
port
some
of like
shit.
the
Yeah.
mobile game.
shit. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think it's like cheaper on whatchamacallit, Steam.
Probably
on Android
It's probably cheaper
or
on
like
everything else.
Steam. Yeah, probably.
Square Enix is stupid. So
Yeah, Square Enix has
I
that
think that's
sweet
a good
tax, baby.
spot to wrap it up, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
We're gonna skip the questions this week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very long.
we'll get to that next week too.
This is a long episode.
I have some.
Truly.
We are
First-
sorry.
I actually just got my I finally got my casting down for
Well,
Harry's
write
question
it
too.
down, Joe, and we can talk about it next
Write it
week.
down. Remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got mine written down.
Yeah.
So happy
Happy
birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday,
Yeah,
Joe.
thank you.
I'll
birthday,
see you
Joe.
later
I
today.
did it on Oh Baby.
Yeah, finger
Yep.
pop assholes,
Oh,
Brendan
no.
Fraser's butt. I'm gonna repeat those bits because fuck everything.
Bye.
Oh, gosh.
Bye.
Bye-bye.